gets on my damn nerves that that they grow so fucking fast, and there are men in this space who have been doing it way longer. So that's a critique of, and it's not just Pearl, it's just female content creators in general, which she understands that being a woman gives her an advantage. As a matter, when I interviewed Pearl back when she had like 10, 15,000 subscribers or something like that. So I think that, their growth is, I'm not going to say it's an issue, but it's something that is extremely unfair because the women, even though, she's been taken off of TikTok and whatnot, on YouTube, you have more days off in uh, what is it? What is the saying? What is the saying? I know. I'm sorry. I'm drawing a blank. Is hard work beats talent if talent doesn't work hard. I think that's what the saying is. Hard work pays off. Hard work beats talent any day. Okay. Okay. Hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. That's what it is. Yep, that's what it is. Thank Cash God. Hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard. Exactly. Every coach says that to you, and that's the reality. You can be the most talented athletic athlete. You can be the most talented athletic athlete, but if you squander your position, look at Antonio Brown. Look at Antonio Brown. He squandered his position. He had good time in the NFL. He had great time in the NFL. He won a Super Bowl, but he squandered his position. He played himself out of his position. For her to conflate sex work with a professional athlete, you're not on level. That's why professional athletes fuck and chuck you whores, because they know that you are not on the same level. His sexual marketplace value, it would be presumably higher, after a long period of time.
I'm asking you the right question. Was it broken? If you're telling me right now it's broken, that's your words. You said this
a lot of jump cuts
just now. So therefore, if the toy was broken today, does that mean the toy was not broken yesterday?
Well, because what I'm thinking is there's like multiple points that I would pinpoint that started to like cause the decline of relationships in the West. So it's like you could say no fault divorce, but like then I would also argue that birth control contributed. I would argue like that the beginning of feminism. I don't believe in like first wave, second wave, third wave. Like I think there's multiple things, but I would say before it was more fair. Does that make sense?
Okay, so we'll stay in your lane.
Yeah.
I love what you brought up because no fault divorce in 1970s changed everything.
Yeah.
I keep on forgetting the name of the birth control. Is it en void or en void in 1950s? Forgot the name of the first birth control in 1950s. It changed the whole entire game, right? But you primarily said the system today is broken to not benefit men.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And so my argument is that if you had a community of guys who are investing all their money, all their energy, we're getting into law. We're supporting these people. We're putting these people on our platform. If we're putting these champions who are going to go into Congress and going to go into the local places.
That's a good idea. You should do that.
No, let's stop. Let's stop right here.
Yeah.
You said it was a good idea, right?
Yeah.
Why aren't those people doing it? Because you're the one who told me they believe the system is broken. That's what you told me. So therefore, if they believe it's broken,
like I explained earlier, they're sparking the minds of people who can actually change the system. Hafiz, you can't not everybody's gonna be a fucking Renaissance man. Like you can't just expect every red vitamin content creator to get involved in politics, bro. Some people are not able. Some of these red vitamin content creators have felonies. Some of these red vitamin content creators can't even who specifically he's advocating for. Like, this nigga must have a sister who's having a hard time dealing with fuckboys or something. Because, like, I'm trying to figure out who he's advocating for, because it's like, dog, you can literally find better women in different locations. And when it comes to the MGTO dub shit, just because you're quote unquote going your own way doesn't mean that you're not gonna fuck with no bitches for the rest of your life. Going your own way literally means going your own way, whatever you deem as the best option for your life. So if that means going monk mode, then you're gonna go monk mode. If that means be in a relationship, then you're going to be in a relationship. If that means, casual sex, then you're going to do casual sex. What fits your lifestyle? So I think it all comes down to individual personal choice. But as far as quote unquote walking away from relationships, most men don't want to walk away from relationships. They don't want to walk away from women. They want women who are going to be a complement to their life and not a burden. And what you'll find here is that in the red vitamin space, a lot of guys have realized that, oh shit, we're just not regulated to these Western women. We can go find women who are actually going to be a compliment. Alphazo says, I learned plenty in business classes and also met future Wall Street execs, business owners, and a network of friends that I could work with or hire. Facts. Key says, so even when everything looks bad and down, I should still push forward when nobody believes in me. I guess you're talking about quitting school. Bro, just keep going. Just finish. It's not even that hard, honestly.
Losing for society.
No, that's not my point of view. I said I think that's a lot of their point of view.
But you know red pill more than I do. You're the one that teaching me earlier.
I'm saying that's their point of view.
Who's there?
I would say that's like the MGTOW group.
Okay, the MGTOW. Yeah, the MGTOW. So do you believe it's a good solution?
Cyrus Cherry puts $10 on the super trap. He says, Black Conservative Perspective made a video about red vitamin guys. They shouldn't be lumped in with conservatives. A lot base their worth on money. What happens when that leaves? Is Sneeko still high value? I mean, the whole high value man is different from red vitamin. Like, you can be a high value man and not be red vitamin. Like I said, from my understanding, the red vitamin is a lifestyle, and I'm not afraid to say it's an ideology. It's a series of ideas and theories that are backed in biological truths, biological realities. So let's see. Let me just read that again. Yeah, I don't think that red vitamin guys should be lumped in with conservatives for sure. But I don't think that red vitamin bases their worth on money. I don't think so. Maybe the top content creators that you see, but I don't think overall that's what it's about, for sure. Key says, what the hell? My dog's tripping. Hold up. Key says, my degree is hard, bro. I'm an engineer student. I won't switch majors because there's nothing else I'd want to study. I get that. Alphazo says, all you need is your faith, dedication, and think about those that supported you on your road to where you are right now. To be honest, all you need is C's to pass. Not that hard.
Do I believe that's a good solution? It could be. I don't know. I'm not claiming I have all the answers with these.
Of course you don't have all the answers. We're just talking.
So I have a couple solutions. So I have a couple ideas. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. The first idea I have, I'm going to start a wife school.
I love it.
Yeah. So we're going to turn 304s into wives.
Let's stop.
That's my first idea.
Can we stop right there? Okay. Do you want to go through all the ideas? No.
You asked me. I'll tell you.
I want to talk about that one. Don't forget that one. I want to talk to you about that.
Yeah. I got you. My second idea is I'd like to run for an office on that, because I feel like in order the laws to change for men, women have to do it. So, if this was Pearl's World, I'd get rid of birth control. I'd ban it, but that'll never happen.
A lot of men won't like that. A lot of the men, that's my guy right here. He said, hell no. He said, don't get rid of that, baby.
Okay, yeah. Getting rid of birth control is wild. That's different. That's different. I don't know why Pearl would want to get rid of birth control. I mean, you have condoms, so it's not like, that's not a contraceptive as well. I guess you could make an argument for getting rid of birth control because of what it does to female emotions and their body and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, I would like to see why she would want to get rid of birth control. Very interesting.
Girls world. I'd ban birth control. I think that's the root of all evil. And I'd actually go for.
So okay, I get it. So birth control is the root of all evil. So birth control enabled women to have indiscriminate sex. Okay, I get that. But at the same time, it's like, bruh, you could wear a condom.
Further, I'd go further.
Go ahead.
But I'm kind of extreme.
Say it.
I don't think women should vote.
Huh?
I don't think.
So she said she doesn't think women should vote. Okay, I mean, wow. So like I said, like this is something that Pearl said. If Pearl runs for office in the future and somebody clips that and says, "Oh, I don't think women should vote," it's over. It's literally over. That's what I'm telling you. If you make red vitamin content, you cannot run for political office. They're literally going to clip that right there and say, "Oh, it's over. She doesn't want women to vote. She's a misogynist. It's over. It's over." Okay. As far as women voting, yeah, they vote with emotions. Yeah, they vote overall blue. I wouldn't say just take away the right to vote, but I think that we should be more educated on the individuals who we're voting for. But you know, that's not a man. Like, or if you join some type of team sport, you're not a man. Like I said, we already discussed this earlier, but it's an ideology, you know, theory based off of biological realities. So yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Yeah, we stand on our name for sure, but also like if you have a certain mindset, I don't think it's wrong to associate with that. Like that's just like saying, okay, I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican. Well, I'm not gonna say, oh well, I'm reclaim your throne, da 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 da, even though I'm not on any side of the aisle. I'm just saying, like, there's nothing wrong with identifying yourself with a certain ideology or political party.
1,000 people, 5,000 people,
unless you're a Democrat.
They understood these things, and they continue to improve.
Well, of course, you improve at your craft over time. Yes.
Yeah, but you asked me, did the message get lost? Did it get lost to everybody? Of course not.
Yeah.
But what they understood, which is why they grew, because there is a better way of doing things. I've grown, right? And so to me, what I'm communicating to you is that if you're going to do content, you should look at the people before you and don't just simply try to get the most attention, because a lot of times people play this altruistic game. Like, I just want to help. No, you want views, you want attention, you want followers, you want dollars. You can't deny that. And to deny that is being...
You can't deny that too, Hafiz. You denied that you didn't care about money, but here you are talking about, oh, well, you want views, you want money, you want the followers.
Is being facetious. There is a benefit of being the most entertaining, popping.
Wolf in Sheep's Clothing says, I don't believe that men who aren't a certain height could be a high value man. You will always be lacking in that area that women want. I mean, height had nothing to do with Kevin Samuel's high value men tenets, but I mean, if that's your opinion, that's fine. Q Bubble says Kevin did not speak toward these men working at McDonald's. Meanwhile, they all took his content and ran with it to bash women. That's not true. Kevin spoke about Henry's high earners, not rich yet. So you're wrong. R. Barry said Wolf in Sheep's Clothing, being high value has nothing to do with height. Yep, you're right. Ayo says high value man doesn't exist. You're wrong. You're wrong as hell now.
YouTube channel. There is a selfish benefit. None of us are perfect from it. But my biggest thing is that when you realize, you know what, I truly want to impact the most individuals. And if I'm going to do that, bringing the most ratchet girls on a show called Wife Academy. Do you know a show called Charm School on VH1?
Yeah,
or Bad Girls Club? That's what you're trying to do.
Charm School? When I was explaining this idea, somebody told me about Charm School.
Yeah, or Bad Girls Club. That's exactly what you're trying to do. Yeah. Like, that to me is like...
Yeah, but I mean, they're Bad Girls Club, Charm School, they're specifically targeting, and you could say exploiting, but I wouldn't say exploiting. I would just say they're literally showing it for what it is. And that's specifically targeting a demographic, i.e. the Black and brown community. Guys, if you disagree, you can join the stream and we'll chop it up for a little bit. I'm gonna stop at the hour mark instead of the hour 12 mark, just because I gotta make a pre-recorded video for Reclaim and for Black Gen Z before I kind of hang things up here. Q Bubble says Henrys are high value, dude. Just because they aren't rich yet doesn't mean they aren't high value. Well, I'm just telling you what Kevin Samuels explained. So he did speak to the blue collar guys. Those are Henrys, high earner, not rich yet. So they didn't qualify for high value under his criteria. Q Bubble says, I don't go off of Kevin's terms of what high value men are. Well, that's the working terminology that we're going off of right now. I'm just saying many men took Kevin's words when he only spoke to a certain group of men. Ayo says, do you agree the term high value man was made up by someone that wasn't said back in the day? You either man or you not. High value man was not made up by Kevin Samuels. It was actually a term that was, that has been used since, I would say since the beginning of time. Maybe not in that specific order or that translation, but you could substitute that for an elite man, or what's another synonym that we could use? A high earning man. It's pretty much the same criteria.
Yo, that's just pure VH1 reality show garbage. If you're truly trying to make a change, find.
So yeah, Ayo, jump on the stream, bro, if you disagree, and give your points. It's an open stream. I just dropped the link. And I'm not saying that there aren't, but it's a small minority of the women, the modern women. What's good, cyberspace? It's your boy Reclaim Your Throne, coming at you with another crazy video. But first, my goal is to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. And you already know, Reclaim Your Throne. So guys, we're going to get into this. We're going to finish off this Hafiz and Just Pearly Things debate. Want to knock it out real quick because I got somewhere to be later on today. But we're going to get this knocked out. Give me 1 second. All right, so we're going to pull it up. We're going to break down the rest of this. Hafiz is completely off base, off center. We kind of stopped it at the prenup thing where he admitted that he did not get a prenup signed. So that's definitely a big L.
Okay.
Who is the leader in society?
Men. Well, actually, no. Now that it's like women make 70 to 80% of consumer buying decisions.
Who's the leader? I'm curious. To your people.
So yeah, the leader is men, and he's basically trying to say, oh well, it's men's fault because divorce. Divorce is going up. If we believe that divorce is going up, which we already spoke about the numbers and that 40% and 50% number. The 40% number was a projection, whereas the 50% number is accurately what divorces are today.
Well, camera, put on her camera. Yeah. Tell the people who's the leader in society.
No, men, you're right. Men lead.
So
men lead.
She believes.
But women have a lot of power in society today.
But you simply who leads, men or women?
Men. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. If men are the leaders and your team loses, you play volleyball, you play Division I sports, you know this thing.
I play D1. Oh, stop it. I wish.
If you are the leader of your team, the team loses. What should the leader do? Whose fault is it then? When the quarterback loses?
So yes, nobody's saying that men don't take accountability for failed marriages. As a matter of fact, men take all of the accountability and women skirt accountability. That's why there's a whole movement about women don't take accountability, because men take all of the accountability when marriages go down, and women just say, oh, it wasn't my fault. I didn't feel happy. He didn't make me feel emotionally secure and whatever.
This is the game. His receiver drops a touchdown. What does the quarterback say when the interviewer asks him, why did we lose the game? He takes accountability. Even if there was something that other people did to contribute to the loss, the quarterback never throws the team under the bus, which is why Ron Rivera, the Redskins head coach, everybody got mad at him because he blamed Carson Wentz for losing. Is Carson Wentz playing good? Heck no, he's playing like Garbaggio. But the coach cannot go before the audience and say, oh, the reason we're losing because of him.
No, I do agree with that. The thing is, the men who have quote unquote fixed the laws, they did a disservice, and they tilted the seesaw, if you will, way too far in the women's favor. It's not balanced anymore. So yes, those older white men who did establish these laws definitely gave us an L, and I would say that is by design because they knew what would happen to society if women, got most of the power, which they're a majority of the voting bloc now. So you could say that they were granted this type of power and authority in society. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't have any power or any authority in society or a voice in society. What I am saying is um, what's happening now. The scales are severely tilted. So I tend to agree with that. Yes, the men have to take accountability for that. Let's keep going.
You're the leader. Put that on your back.
Yeah,
Oh,
I got
shit.
so mad when I
Hold
saw
up.
that freaking.
Let me go back where I ended up.
Been proven that women decide elections.
If you
Run it
Women
back.
though too, because we asked.
Hey, we
I
agree.
kinda-
On society 100,000%. But man, I thought we were the leaders. I thought we were in charge. How did we let this day happen? How did we let it get to this place? So me personally, I understand that if you're going to be the leader, you get the final say and you get the responsibility when the team loses.
I actually kind of agree with that.
Hey,
I
we
kind of agree with
agree.
that. Yeah, because I think women wanted a certain amount of power and like men gave it to them. Like who developed birth control was men. But I do think like it's kind of on the women though too because we asked for it, and so it's like if you're gonna ask for it, then you can't be mad at the consequences. And now, but the problem is now I think now women have more power than men. Like that's just why like we make 70 to 80% of consumer buying decisions, and we make up and it's been proven that women decide elections.
If you
I mean, from the general population, it really just depends on what you consider power. But the elites, most of them who are running the world, the ones who are orchestrating this proxy war with Russia through or via the Ukraine, those individuals are the ones who run the world, the military industrial complex. Definitely crazy old white men who are on a power trip. That's really what it is. And this is not to blame white men as a whole. The average white man has nothing to do with this, but the people in power. And I'm not saying that they would do any different if they were black. I mean, look at the politicians in Africa. So it's not even about race. It's not even about gender because with the women, I'm sure women would be all for regime change paradigms too. Look at Hillary Clinton and Nancy Pelosi. I mean, there are a lot of women. It's about getting the right people in there in those positions of power. And I mean, it's pretty hard. There's so much uncertainty in the future, and it's a hard discussion. But ultimately, I still believe men have the power overall because you control your own individual destiny. And if you get a bag, if you get some type of status, you're gonna always have quote unquote power over women. That's not saying that you're better than them or whatnot. But I mean, any guy with a bag, any guy with status, the women are going to be coming to him. So I agree.
Truly believe that the power, I feel like I'm Andrew Tate right now. The power in today's world is being held in the hands of women. You are deceiving yourself. You think the global elites are a bunch of women who are ruining the world? This is not Wonder Woman.
See, I haven't gotten to the elite stage of red pill yet. The elites, that's like a term I haven't gotten there yet.
If you think who's running the world are women, you do not understand the way the world works. Men run the world. Men have the power. Just because they give a women a little bit of consumer spending goods to be able to shop on useless things on Amazon, just because they give individuals a right to vote occasionally, you think the men are not ruling this world?
Yeah, maybe a small percentage, but women, we're the ones that are bailed out of every bad decision we made.
Who allows those rules?
Yeah.
Why do they allow?
I mean, women advocate for those rules, like. And yes, there are men who advocate them for it. Well, there's just so many different ideas to pin it down to one gender, I think is unfair. There's so many different ideas, and there are politically radical women, just like politically radical men. And if the women were in power, they would be, pushing for regime change, military policy as well. I think it's not about the gender. It's about, who's paying her bills. And if it's more profitable to go to war, they're going to go to war. If it's not as profitable to go to war, they're not going to go to war. Point blank.
then at the same time, who elects those people? Women decide
You think
elections.
it's a democracy?
In the U.S., women decide elections.
You think this is a democracy here? You think this is a free democracy where the people are choosing the leaders? Come on, you're too young for this.
So now he's kind of okay. So I agree that the presidents are chosen. They come through a certain bloodline for sure. But on a local level, for sure, you can definitely determine who's going to run your city with your vote. Maybe not on a federal level, but local for sure.
Huh? You don't think women decide elections? We're more.
Do you really believe
Okay.
the power in the free world is being decided? They're letting people freely decide the elections. You think if they don't want somebody in power, they're not going to make sure this person's not going to be in power? My point of
Well, it's called the Electoral College, but I do agree. If they don't want you in power, they're going to get you out of power. They didn't necessarily want Trump in power. He gained power and then he lost it. And now they're coming for him legally. So where they wouldn't come after somebody who was quote unquote on their side.
Oh, okay, so you're on the voter.
I'm just having fun.
Okay. No, I don't.
You gotta get the red pill conspiracy. This is their red meat.
I don't subscribe to the stealing elections and stuff.
I didn't say stealing elections.
That's what it seemed like you were.
I never said anything about stealing elections.
Okay.
Come on, bro. That's what you're saying. You're saying that the elections are decided. Stand on it, bro. You're saying the elections are decided. People are quote unquote stealing elections. I mean, keep it a buck, Hafiz. Come on.
I'm not saying about stealing elections. I'm just communicating certain ideas. And so my point, when you asked me, you said, who is at fault? I cannot say I'm a man. Men are the leaders. And then blame it. Do women have a responsibility to the destruction society? Of course they do. But men are the leaders. It stops with us. A man had to make this a law. A man had to say this was okay.
But the women elected them. I don't know.
So you believe that the women are electing the men, and then the men are. So you believe the women are the master puppeteers who are electing the political pundits to do their bidding. I'm telling you right now, if you really believe.
Yeah. And not just like women by themselves for sure. We could talk about women as a whole voting majority left. We could talk about black women overwhelmingly voting left. Black people in general overwhelmingly voting left. So yeah, for sure. I definitely think women are turning elections. And the reason why they've given women so much political power is because they know that they're easily swayed. Like it's easy for Stacey Abrams to get all the black women to vote for her just because she's a black woman who looks like them. It's easy for people to get behind Barack Obama because he's black. Okay, there were black people who voted for Barack just because he was black. So this is what you guys have to understand.
The powers in Russia, the powers in China, the powers all over these world superpowers are being run because of a woman electing somebody into office. I'm telling you right now, you might need a little bit more political research.
Well, I just think it's like when women get into power, we trend towards communism. So I don't know. I just think I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, and he definitely eats her up with the political conversation. So yes, women turn to, I wouldn't say it's necessarily communism that they turn towards. I think that they're more turning towards egalitarianism and socialism. That's what they're aiming for. But the policies that they believe in, they were pretty much groomed into or marketed into believing those policies. But he definitely gonna eat her up in this conversation. I mean, that I don't know a communist country that was ever ran by a woman. So he definitely ate her lunch in this political conversation.
Like I do think men lead, and so I think the power they gave to women, like they did give it to us.
Explain North Korea. Explain China. You think China gave power to women?
No,
you said leaning toward communism. You think China gave power to women? That's why they're leaning towards communism. Get back to relationship, politics. Let's stay in relationship.
Yeah, he ate her up with that. I agree. Yeah, there aren't any communist countries ran by women, from my understanding.
So back to the relationships. Who is the major person that's at fault in regards to the breakdown of the families? Do women have a role? Yes, but I call men the leaders, so men are primarily responsible.
Do you think men are more different today or women are more different today than the 1940s? 30s?
I honestly think it's both. And here's why. Testosterone levels at men are at all-time what?
Low.
All-time low. You know this stuff. You know the red pill talking points, right? So you know these things. So of course, 100%. If
well, a lot of that is from the food. that people are consuming. Young boys growing up in single mother households. A lot has changed, no doubt.
Men, the man in 1944, I always butcher the year, who invaded Normandy. Are they the same men today who are wearing their blue hair and their pronouns are him, her, and zip and zed and zoop and zoop? Are those the same men that were invading Normandy back in the day?
There are some weird men.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the guys who join the military today and like who actually are being deployed into combat, those guys are fucking badasses. Like, they're fucking jacked. They're huge guys. They're manly guys. I think this is what I think. I think in general, back in the day, in the 1940s, there was a more broad range of men who were manly. Let's just say that. But I think like the manliest men today would like defeat the manliest men back in the day for sure, because the training, the access to being able to grow your body. I mean, just look at the athletes. It's just gotten so much better. They're more athletic. They're stronger. They're bigger. They're faster. So yeah, I think that's what it is. There were probably more men in general back in the day who were manly, but I think like the manliest men today are more manly than the manliest men back in those days.
Come on, man. You think those things are the same ones? The dudes wearing.
I've interviewed some. I'm like, oh
Yeah,
God.
the dudes wearing dresses. You think these are the same guys that were back in the 1940s?
No, you're right.
Come on, come on. What are we talking about? So that's one of my arguments. Is like, fellas, have women devolved? Heck yeah, but look at what the.
Yeah, but we ask them to. We'll be like,
But why did?
Yeah, so women did ask men to get in touch with their feminine side and all this stuff, and men complied because they thought that was what you had to do to get pussy.
You listen, man. You are in charge.
Right.
You are
we
the boss.
Listen to women, right?
Don't listen to somebody when they're telling you to do the wrong thing. As a leader, it's like use an Andrew Tate example that people don't like. If I am the parent and my child told me I want cotton candy every day for the rest of my life,
you say women are children?
I told you I'm using an example, and we're gonna get the people going.
We are a little bit.
We're having fun here. We're having fun. If you have a child and that child said they want cotton candy for every single, you are in charge, and then that child says they want it. What do? Do you just simply say the child is crying, not giving the cotton candy, or do you say I'm in charge, I'm the leader, what's best for you is this? You're not giving that nonsense, that foolishness. What do you say? I'm curious. You're smarter than me. Please teach the people.
You should just give the kid whatever they
want. I love it. Exactly.
I'm just kidding. Just give it. Just listen to the 4-year-old.
Listen to the 4-year-old. So you are the leader, and you're responsible for somebody. You have to make the best decisions, and even if the decision makes them upset, you have to do what makes them healthy in the long run. So that's my personal opinion on these things.
Do you think that polygamy could be a solution going forward?
Yeah, no. Polygamy would destabilize society. And this is what blows my mind about the red pill. Some of the red pill guys always talking about how a high value man has options. Imagine.
Shout out to Mr. Jake the Great. He said, "Yo, BGZ, what's good? Where can I ask you a tough relationship question? I think here is a little too public." Excuse me. You can go to my Instagram. Just DM me, bro.
That's how I started. Was because my dad's in that category, and I called him. I'm like, Dad, where are your hoes? You're supposed to have some.
Oh Lord Jesus!
I was so confused. I was like, I didn't grow up with that this.
Listen.
This is a different world.
We got to do a lot of.
When they were explaining it, I was like, wow, this is very different than what
you drank the Kool-Aid. You're fully in it. But hopefully by the end of today's.
You realize I don't agree with cheating. Okay. I've never said I agree with cheating.
I just said you drank the Kool-Aid.
No.
Drink some of it.
Doesn't that mean like then like I'm apart? Doesn't that mean that I have a different opinion on it? I thought that's what that meant when you said you drank the Kool-Aid.
What I'm saying is that there's certain ideologies and beliefs that you have that when I hear you say them, I'm like, dang, I remember that video where somebody uttered that idea, and I'm like, man, did she copy and paste it or did she genuinely believe it? And so going back to the point.
Well, if things make sense to me, if someone has a good argument, like why would I not repeat it? If I've researched it and I think it's a good argument.
Well, I mean, he talks about Kevin Samuels, and Kevin Samuels said high value men exercise their options. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean that it's right. It just means that that's the reality.
Just seeing some of the things you haven't researched. So my rule of thumb is
like the definition of a praxeology.
100%. Okay.
Or it doesn't mean that it's wrong.
100%. Because you called me out and you said it's not an ideology. It's a praxeology. You don't know what that word even means. So
off the top of my head, no, you're right. I just had a general idea.
Okay, cool. Okay. So in regards, you asked me about polygamy. It destabilizes society. Here's why. Think about a guy like and Andrew Tate.
Mhm.
Andrew Tate is tall, he's handsome, he's successful.
Mhm.
If Andrew Tate was like, I want everybody's girl, he can Genghis Khan this whole planet. He could.
Yeah,
He could Genghis Khan this whole planet,
Yeah.
like Genghis Khan did.
Look, that's what the celebrities are kind of already doing, but it's not like they're impregnating every chick. Shout out to birth control. They are running through a lot of chicks. Like if you do come across a bad chick nowadays, there is a high likelihood that she basically smashed a celebrity.
And here's the reality: for the average guy,
Mhm.
it doesn't benefit him
Uh-huh.
because even if you've seen freaking Braveheart, right? Obviously, it's a fictional movie, but it's an example of prima nocte going on in Scotland. There was a time in the day where if a dude wanted your woman, they pull up and they take your woman. What are you going to do about it? I'm in charge.
Oh,
And so
I've never seen Braveheart, but
you're missing out on
okay.
2.5%
I don't really
of your
watch
life.
TV, but
It's a movie.
Okay.
2.5% of your life is
Okay.
missing. You haven't watched Braveheart.
Uh-huh.
My point of it, and this is why, like, I had so much respect for when Andrew Tate was talking about male promiscuity wasn't a good thing, because as a guy, if guys wanted to take all, they could play that Genghis Khan game, and that would disrupt society. You think men today are complaining about 1/3 of?
So I do agree with that, but that's already what's happening. So, it's the 80-20 rule. Okay, 20% of the men are smashing 80% of the guys. It's already happening. They're already, quote unquote, like he said, gang is conning all the women. So I get his point though. If there are like a select few high value guys and they're taking all the women, I get his point. But one man, he simply can't just have every woman that he wants. That's the reality of the situation. Not in this society. He can't have every woman that he wants. He's going to get denied. Andrew Tate gets denied all the time. There's plenty of girls who he DMs who he's not able to fuck, point blank, and they're hot, but he can't fuck them because of his marketing, because of how he's perceived. So, you're not going to have access to every girl that you want to smash, even if you hit them up, DMing and all that stuff, or you have all this money. It doesn't matter.
Men don't have sex, and all the Chads and Tyrones are having sex, and not me. Let polygamy be normal. Let the game, let the floodwaters really let free. And so, to me, I truly believe it destabilizes society and it created equal opportunity for all men. We have to be able to say no, one man, one woman.
What do you think if it was like they could have multiple, but it would be like capped? Be like, don't some religions?
That's Islam. That's Islam. Islam is up to 4 wives.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you thought that was like, would you feel the same way? Because wouldn't it be? It would be like polygamy, but it wouldn't be like on steroids. Like no Genghis Khans out here.
Yeah. So that's Islam's argument. Right? It's Islamic community's argument is that, but it also destabilizes.
I mean, but if there's one man to one woman, then there are going to be women who are left out and men who are left out at the end of the day anyway. From my understanding, let's see. And I'm just using, there's a world population counter or clock rather. And it kind of changes. It's a worldometer. Let me see. I mean, there's a it's kind of wild actually. Because it's being updated in real time. I don't know how real it is, but let me see. Let me just get something from the census, just so people don't be like, oh well. Okay, so this is the U.S. Census Bureau world population counter, or clock rather. As you guys can see, let's just go to sex. So I guess they're not gonna do it for the world. Let's see. There's 7 billion people, almost 8 billion. One birth every 9 seconds, one death every 13 seconds. Wow. Let's see. All right, so they have like an age range of the sexes. But is it going to tell us how many? So this is the United States population.
I guess they're not gonna split up the demographics on this joint right quick for us. And I'm not sure what. This is like my third time being on this site, but I mean, it looks pretty even, damn near, especially when it comes to the age group and whatnot. It looks like most people are living between like this 30 and 60 range, age range in the States at least. Let me see if I can just get a distribution by demographic. Hold on. He said, holy shit, Pakistan has that many people, 200 plus million. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy. Indonesia up there too. India is up there with China. Brazil got 200 million. Nigeria got 200 million. He said there's always going to be more women than men because there's a lot of men that get killed or that delete themselves. Yeah, no, for sure. So doesn't that mean that some women need to double up, Hafiz? Right? Doesn't that mean that some women might need to double up? Okay. From my understanding, if it's one man, one woman, we should let's see world population by gender. If it's one man, one woman. All right, let's see if we can have this broken down. So I've got some saying that there's 7 billion, 7.9 billion, and another site saying there's 8 billion. I guess we can just go by the census data. But let's see. Let me just get a split distribution. I don't know why they're. So it says the global population skews male, but UN projects parity between sexes by 2050. So let's go to this because this is the Pew Research Center. All right. So globally, the number of males has exceeded the number of females since the mid 1960s. All right, and this is Pew Research. So a lot of people say, "Oh, well, there's more women than men in the world," and I don't know. I don't think that's right, man. Honestly, the worldwide sex ratio is expected to even out according to recently released population projections. As of 2021, there were about 44 million more males than females in the global population. All right. So you hear that. It sounds like either some men are going to be left out or some women might have an argument for doubling up. So, I mean, I've always stated that there's more men than women in the world. I don't know where this bullshit came from where, oh, there's more women in the world than men. But like I said, if it's one man, one woman, somebody's going to be left out. And then it's like there's going to be, you have to be attracted to them. There's a whole bunch of different factors. But the reality is a lot of people are going to be single. A lot of people aren't going to be able to get women. So the women are only choosing a small percentage of the men anyway. So I don't really see an issue with the men exercising the options as long as he's honest. Okay. Distant Light says there's always going to be more women than. Okay. So we already debunked that. Okay. Yeah. So we got the information from the Pew Research Center. Let's see if they can give us some hard numbers. Okay. They're not giving us exact numbers, but ultimately there's 44 million more men than women in the world. So that's going to be 44 million men who don't get a bitch.
Society. Because think about it right now. You're a numbers girl. Like I said, you're smarter than me.
Yeah.
Let's say we had 100 women.
See, you hear him. Oh, you're right. You're a smart girl. Or you're smarter than me. Like, he's super condescending. It's wild the way Hafiz, like, his new debating tactics. It's so funny.
And there was 99 men. Let's say 99 men in society, right? 100 women, 99 men. How can every man get 4 wives? How many wives? How many men can get 4 wives?
Then you would still have the problem.
You know what I mean? So it eventually.
Well, there's more men than women, like we said. So yeah, a man. The numbers work out to men at the end of the day still not having a bitch.
That's kind of what it is now, though.
And you told me that's the problem in today's world.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's why I'm so passionate. I'm like, yo, if you truly believe problem in today's world is promiscuity, is a few women going to all the Chaz and Tyrone. How can you ascribe to this high value man exercise option and be able to have multiple women?
I don't subscribe to that. When you say you, I think because like when you say you, like I think you're talking about me because it's me and you. So like if I say you, like I would think that you know.
I'm sorry. I'm talking to
okay. Okay.
I want to know the people. Okay. So that's what I'm trying to communicate. And so at the end of the day, I realized that if you're trying to really help society, one man can't have 10, 15, 20 girls. It's not going to help us. It's not going to help in the end. It's not fair.
So my dad, when I told my dad that, he was like, yeah, these guys try one wife.
Yeah, a lot of guys can't handle that multiple wives thing. Me personally, I'm not really big on the multiple wives. Like, dude, all you really need is one wife. Now, if you want to have some like plaything on the side, like I said, that's between you and your girl. But he's right. That does contribute to the promiscuity of women. Like, say, you got a guy, he has a family, but then he's like fucking bitches on the side. It does contribute to the promiscuity of women. And it's not like he's going to impregnate them, or hopefully he doesn't impregnate them and have a baby on his wife and all that kind of shit. So that's a moral argument against the high value man exercising options thing, which I totally get. But at the same time, that doesn't change what's actually happening. And for one, you're not going to convince women not to choose these men, and then you're not going to be able to convince the quote unquote high value men to not exercise their options.
Talk about it. So to me, my number one, my second pushback, one of my many 75 pushbacks on the red pill ideology is like, if you've had one wife, having 3 to me is like torture. I'm being honest with you. Not saying my one wife is torture. I'm saying having 3 because those 3 are competing for your time, energy, and attention.
And I mean, yeah, if you had 3 wives and then one of them didn't take your name, or all 3 of them didn't take your name, that would be kind of wild. Which, like I said, I don't know if his wife took his name or not legally, but on her Instagram, she ain't take the name.
My name is Hafiz. Hafiz is not an African name, ignorant people. It's not a Nigerian name, highly educated people. It's an Arabic name. My family is all Arabic. Every male in my family, my dad's side of the family, is Muslim. I come from a polygamous background.
Bro, just because you're Muslim doesn't mean you're Arabic. Okay? Like that's gotta be something that to be said against that too. Like, just because you're Muslim doesn't mean you're Arabic. You can be a white Muslim. Okay. Muslim just means, you're submitting to God. Simple as that. So as far as him saying he comes from an Arabic background, 1/3 of the slaves that were brought over to America from the transatlantic slave trade were in fact Muslims. That doesn't mean that they were Arabic. They came from West Africa, buddy. So yes, they were Muslim. They might have had Arabic influences, but that doesn't mean that they were Arabic. They were Africans who were Muslim. Okay. Islam is a religion. All right. Al Capitan says, "What's good, King? I'm new to your channel. Good stuff. Keep it up. Appreciate it."
The reality of the matter is polygamous families have issues. They have issues, not freaking bliss.
What issues are they? Like, because I don't know anyone that personally like grew up with that. So I'm just curious.
Give you an example. You have a woman like you.
Okay.
You're the smart wife. You're intelligent.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, he's gonna describe some of the issues with polygynous relationships. It's gonna be jealousy. It's gonna be favoritism, all those things. But at the end of the day, once you bring children into the situation, a lot of times those women start working together. Now, not every man can pull this play off for sure, but some of the, like, that's why they call it sister wives, because at some point these women become sisters. It's kind of weird dynamic, but I'm not really big. Like I said, I'm not really big on having multiple wives, but I am big on sexual access, and sexual variety is essential to a man's mental health.
You're submissive. You do everything the right way. You're attractive. Everything is great. Then the husband says, "I want to spend more time with you. I want your kids to go to the best schools. I want your kids to have the nice."
Oh, so it's like
favoritism.
He'll have a favorite.
And now how's the other woman gonna feel about you? They're gonna hate you.
Well, when it comes to Islam, you're supposed to be able to treat every wife fairly. So what she gets, the other one gets. What her kid gets, the other one gets. That's the whole point. You're supposed to be able to, if you are going to run that multiple wives play, you're supposed to have the finances to equally take care of all the women. So if you were really Islam, you would be doing it in that way so that you could at least nullify that possible angle of jealousy when it comes to the resources provided for each woman and their children.
Does it come and go? Because I'd imagine like there'd be seasons because everyone's got pros and cons. Or does he usually have a one favorite that's like always the favorite?
You can't have 10 women. I have one favorite.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking like in a friend group, like I'll have one favorite, then she might annoy me, and then like it'll switch.
But you deep down inside know there's a friend that you naturally get along with more than everybody else. It may be seasonal when you get along with somebody else, but over the
guys, how's the sound? Let me know how the sound is. Is there any echo? Please let me know.
Long span of a friendship, I naturally gravitate towards this
So
person.
It's kind of like there's like jealousy that builds up because
100%.
he doesn't. What's the most wives? One of your.
Like I said, it's not. I can't talk on behalf of my family because my dad doesn't want me talking about these things publicly.
Oh, okay.
But
what's the most wives you've seen, or like personally know someone?
In Nigeria, I'm Nigerian. There's 3 major tribes. There's Yoruba, there's Igbo, and there's Hausa. Most Nigerians that you meet in the Western world are Yoruba and Igbo.
I've met Igbo.
You rarely meet Hausa. You will never. They stay in Nigeria. Hausas are predominantly Muslims. Those guys, 20, 25, 30, like those. They will keep on taking, but some of them, like the religion holds them back. You got to think about it. The religion caps them at 4, but how many people really follow their religion all the way? You know what I mean? Like Christianity said you shouldn't have sex until marriage.
No, that's not.
Who really is gonna stop?
Okay, because I live in London, and so like there's a lot of. I've had so many Nigerians. I feel like Nigerian people just really like to share their opinions. Like, I don't know why.
It's our culture.
Especially Igbos. I don't know. I don't understand the tribes. I don't know the background. This is just. I've had so many Igbos that I've been on my show. They're all but yeah, I forgot what I was going with.
You were saying that the Nigerian. I was making a point about the having multiple wives.
The Nigerian uncle. That's always that. They always say like be careful of the Nigerian uncle because it's in London. Because what'll happen is they're like he'll spoil. Like this is what they said. Because I've heard him reference this mysterious Nigerian uncle. He'll spoil you and whatever, but he has a whole family.
100%. 100%. That's what they do.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, part of the culture is polygamous culture. So yeah, to the original question, it destabilizes society, and that's why.
Like I said, they keep saying polygamous, polygamy. It's polygyny. Like, I don't know what's so hard to understand that polygamy is open on both sides and polygyny is only open on the man's side. I don't get it, but they keep using the wrong term. And I just want to make that clear so that people don't get confused. There's a difference.
It's like if you're really trying to help men, you know that you need to tell, hey man, you guys need one. It's then so the other guys can have more. Think about it, like you said, you want to incentivize women, incentivize what you want to see more. If the women realize that, hey, you're not going to be so-and-so's side chick. You're not going to be so-and-so's 4th and 5th wife. You're going to have to lower your standards. It will change them. Like you said, it will change them. But if every woman knows.
Women aren't going to lower their standards. And you're not going to change the men who are having a plethora of women. I don't know what his ultimate objective is, but let's keep it a buck. Even his idol, Gary Vee, traded in his wife for a younger woman.
I can be Future's number 17. I can be so-and-so number 15. Like, then it's going to continue to create this issue that we're having in today's world.
Yeah. It's just like my thing is I feel like you can't change like certain things that just are. And I always say I don't feel bad for a single girl that got cheated on by a pro athlete.
Neither do I.
I don't have a bit of sympathy.
Neither do I.
I don't like you knew what you signed up for.
100%.
Like come on.
Or rapper.
And then
Seriously.
like you have that freaking Jason Derulo.
Of course.
His like baby
Come
mama.
on.
She's like going on
Come
live
on.
like crying like
Jason Derulo.
oh he cheated. I'm like he's humping girls on stage.
Even-
What did you
Even
expect?
Adam Levine is like, really? He's Adam Levine in Maroon 5.
Yeah,
What do you
but it's
expect?
like I'm not gonna say what they should and shouldn't do because it's like they work to get to that point, you
Here's
know.
my
And so I can't change the way the world just like is, you know. And so when you have someone that's like good looking, they have clout. Because I would say like most of the millionaires, like the rich people I know, were kind of nerds. Like nerds aren't really I mean I know Bill Gates was on his wild shit, but like, but like so like that's why I would say the community I was in like wasn't that it wasn't that big with that. But I'm like, yeah, if you want to be a part of that lifestyle, that just kind of comes with it. And I'm not here to tell them what to do or tell them how to live their life, but it's just like, ladies, if you go for that, that comes with it.
Here's my pushback to you.
Yeah.
I agree with you, but to a point.
Uh-huh.
The men can't lie. My problem with Adam, I know his whole story.
Adam, they had an arranged situation. Basically, I'm pretty sure his wife didn't care. The issue with Adam is that he's game goofy. He tried to appeal to an OnlyFans bitch by saying, "Oh well, I'm gonna name my son after you." Like that's some goofy shit. Like that's some simp ass beta shit. Like that nigga's a bitch for that. So I think that's the main issue with the way Adam ran his play.
Is that if they lied?
Yeah.
I'm not saying he did it.
Yeah.
My thing is that if you are that kind of guy,
But Jason Derulo, he definitely lied to that girl. So he played her. He got her knocked up. He thought it'll keep her, you know, and it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
You should let her know up front. Because I play college football. A lot of my friends played in the NFL. The men are not masculine enough to look at the woman in the eyes and be like, yo, I'm gonna have others.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be on tour.
Well, and this goes back to Fresh and Fit. The reason why they don't tell the women that is because the women aren't going to accept it. They're going to go off. Look at NLE Choppa. We already broke down the NLE Choppa, but it does give the woman the decision to say, is she down with it or not? NLE Choppa's baby mama, or not baby mama, but his girl, his ex-girl, tried it for 13 months and she couldn't take it. So she dipped and then started crying online about it. So you can and you should be honest, but we all know that's gonna scare the woman away. So yeah, I don't get what, you know. It's a double-edged sword. Obviously, you should be honest, but that's why, like, if you want to run like that type of play, like, then shit, you're gonna have to just be fucking girls who are for the streets.
I'm gonna be in different cities. There will be others. I will never, no babies, whatever the rules that they have for their infidelities. But my problem is when the guys lie.
I agree with you. You shouldn't lie.
If you're an athlete, be 100. Say, yo, I'm gonna be on tour. I'm gonna do my thing. If you want it, you can say. If you don't, you can leave.
But even, I still don't. Even if the girl gets lied to as an NFL player, I'm like, I still don't feel bad. It's like even if you lied, come on.
I agree.
What did you think was gonna happen?
I think to me,
Jason Derulo's baby mama. I'm talking to you. I got so mad when I saw that story. And everyone's like, "Oh, that poor woman." And I'm like,
shout out to Jenna Frooms, and we can look at her shit real quick. Let's go to her little Instagram. Let's go to her little Instagram because that nigga Jason Derulo done broke her damn heart. That nigga Jason Derulo done broke her damn heart, boy. We can go check her shit out real quick. Very interesting story there. Let's see. Damn. All right. Okay. So she's a mom now. She made a video or a post saying she didn't choose this life. The life chose her. Obviously, that's her child. It is what it is, man. She was that nigga Jason Derulo. She got 4.8 subs. It looks like she's spending a lot of time with this trainer, CJ Fit. What is it? Fit Legend. Let's see what his shit talking about. Dog, those swings are silly as fuck. But anyways, all right. So we looking at CJ. It looks like he is boxing training. He's in good shape. He's in good shape for sure. Let me see his videos. Okay, he moves pretty good. Not the best, but we'll show some of his stuff. Nah, never mind. We ain't gonna do that. But yeah, in shape. He's training with Jenna Frooms. I'm gonna lie. Me personally, I think that he might be clapping the cheeks, no cap. Cause she posts him on her story on her post multiple times. Let's see. So yeah, 14 weeks ago, she was still with the man. What's his name? Jason Derulo. 14 weeks ago. I don't know if he's still in the picture. Not sure. But she chose Jason Derulo. It is what it is. Like, I don't know what you expect. You know what I'm saying? That's the reality of the situation. She's hot, but she has something, or she may not have some things that he wanted physically. Or maybe she did. But like we all know, it's tough to okay, so they went on vacation in April. You're just not going to be able to, especially a guy who's that lit. It's not for debate, man. That nigga gonna be fucking.
No, Nasky, I'm like, you dated like 10 athletes. They probably all cheated on you, and now you're shocked when he does it after you have a kid, and now you're gonna leave after you have the baby when he's humping girls on stage. Stop it.
Listen,
stop it.
Pearly, you told no lies in your whole monologue right there. And to me, I agree with you 100%. And my rule of thumb is, a man, you got to be honest, and you got to have it on contract. You're an athlete. You make them sign NDAs. You're an artist.
Something I agree with him as well. Yeah. These guys need to have these chicks sign an NDA so they don't say shit about their relationship. They don't put nothing out there, because it can be damaging to be labeled as a cheater in the industry. I mean, can it? I don't know. I think I think it might help them, honestly, the pre-selection. But like, even more like intimate stuff, like remember when that girl basically said that what's his name, PNB Rock, only lasted 2 minutes or whatnot on the We in Miami podcast. Like, that's something he should have had that bitch sign an NDA for. Yeah, you got to have them sign NDAs for sure.
These girls sign.
Yeah, I agree.
You gotta
Some
have
of these
that.
guys are reckless.
I'm like, yo, what
They're
are you doing?
reckless. I'm
Make
like,
them sign these
why would
contracts.
you're fucking Instagram models without NDAs? Are you stupid?
Why are you using your account? Are you dumb?
Are you stupid?
What is going on?
Yeah.
Like, so to me, sometimes I'm like, you're right. The girl is like, but the guy's like, you're just dumb, bro.
Like,
you're
I mean, Adam Levine's girl is like, yeah, I knew what it was. Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
So I'm not gonna shame. Like, for me, it's like, I'm not gonna shame those guys for doing that. But like, people think I'm confusing that with like saying, "Oh, you should cheat. You drank the Kool-Aid." And I'm like, I didn't drink the Kool-Aid. That's what the world is. And so it is what it is.
I think the hardest part to me is I just don't like. You're right. It's like a naive thing, but I got to be 100% honest. There are some.
That nigga Lat DeJour said Derulo showed her that savage love. No cap.
Some athletes who don't do it. There are some, not all of them.
There are some athletes who don't do it. Hafiz, the exception doesn't make the rule. There's probably, I would say, and I played D1 football, University of Georgia. We was lit. We're still lit. #1 team in the country. Are there athletes who don't cheat? I ain't even gonna lie. I would say, if you want a professional football player as a woman and you want to choose, this is who you're gonna have to target if you don't want to get cheated on. For one, he can't be black. I know this black men don't cheat thing is going around. That's a damn lie. As a matter of fact, I think we have the highest testosterone, so we're going to be the most sexual as far as the sex drive. So that black men don't cheat shit is completely out of the water. You're probably going to want to go after a lineman. And I do know some black linemen who definitely don't cheat for sure. Skill players is a dud. Wide receivers, it's over. Running backs, good luck. defensive backs, safeties, linebackers. Good luck. You could probably get a white linebacker who won't cheat. You could probably get a white quarterback who won't cheat. I'm pretty sure Tom Brady didn't cheat on Giselle for these 12 years. I mean, I'm not pretty sure, but I can only imagine because she's not leaving him for infidelity. She's leaving him because he wants to continue working. So, yeah, your best bet is if you're a woman and you want a baller, a football player at least, then I would say you're going to want to go after the lineman or a quarterback. And maybe like a white linebacker. But, bruh, ain't no... I'm going to tell you right now, bruh. The brothers, they're definitely going to work. Now, as far as NBA, that one is even harder because you have to be like a certain height to be in the NBA and be like productive and get PT. So the only thing that I would say, you probably want to go after a bench player, you know, a guy who pretty much nobody knows. He's the 12th man on the roster. That's your best bet.
Is it 1%, 2%? I don't know the number, right?
Yeah.
There are some athletes.
I'll say between 1 to 5% of professional athletes don't cheat.
So to me,
but if they get a max contract, they are going to cheat.
I don't like, and I love guys being honest.
Yeah.
Don't play like you're the nice guy who doesn't cheat. Or after the game, I just go home and sleep and watch Netflix. Like, don't lie.
Okay, but devil's advocate. I think women, we know when dudes getting laid. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. We and like what they'll do is they'll pretend like, oh, I didn't know. I had no idea. Why'd you check his phone 10 times? Stop it. You knew, like, there's a part of you. You knew he was going to cheat. You did not get bamboozled. You just like the guy that can cheat. And I won't feel bad for you. And I think the amount of times I've been on the show, the girls love the cheaters. Because I swear to God, I've had girl after girl after girl. It's like they love telling these stories. They love that's always the ex they talk about the most, and hate is closer to love. So it's like you love him.
Here. It's funny enough. I was on Jedediah's podcast, and she played a clip that you played about women loving cheaters. Here is the reality.
There's a clip about women loving cheaters.
You were talking to this one girl about, like,
oh, she played me on the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know I was okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know I was on the show.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hafiz be acting like he don't watch people's shows, but he be lying.
You know what clip I'm talking about?
I talk for 16 hours a week.
I don't know. She don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so she's playing a clip of you that you're talking about how women love cheaters. And so you made that point, but it's not that she loves the cheater. If she loved the cheater, then she wouldn't complain about the cheater. What she loves is what the cheater brings to her. Right? So usually, well, there is some of that, but usually, who's the cheater? Is the cheater, Joe Blow working at McDonald's that these women are crazy about?
Sometimes.
It's not. Trust me, it's not. If it was Joe Blow,
you'd be surprised. Some bums have a lot of free time.
But here's the reality.
There was one guy that came on my show. He was telling me about his rotation. I'm like, this man barely was. He was a SoundCloud rapper.
But here's stop.
Yeah.
Women call.
I agree with Pearl. I mean, if he's physically, and this is where Hafiz, his expertise shows. Which, guys, this isn't about like shitting on Hafiz. Obviously, we're gonna make some jokes, but ultimately, I think he does understand the game. He's God-pilled, so he's trying to grapple with his red vitamin ideas and how they relate to his religion. So I 100% understand that. I 100% understand that, but this is where he breaks it down for Pearl so that she can understand. Sometimes women, it's not about the money. It's not about the status. That's why I say looks are the most important. That's why, like, there are bum hot guys who are getting bitches. And then there are like average guys who got their shit together, got money, who aren't getting shit. Okay? Because looks matter most to women, in my opinion.
Men bums, but they don't really understand what women are seeing in him. Just because you don't have a job doesn't mean that you're a bum to women. He might be saucy. He might be swaggy. He might have a certain je ne sais quoi.
Facts. All facts. Hafiz is going off right here.
He's charismatic.
They have the time to do it.
Exactly. So to me, there's a level of attraction. That these men have. And when you can attract her, you can attract her, and her. And so to the point of women just liking to cheat her. Women like men who other women want, and the men that other women want are usually the men who will want to cheat. So therefore, I just want to bring that to the equation because it's just not simply like, because I know there's a guy like, well, I'm gonna cheat on my girlfriend and then she don't want me. No, bro, she's not gonna want you no matter what you do. You're not attracted to her. That's your problem. Go find somebody else.
Yeah.
But it's you becoming, if you're really that guy and other women do find you attractive, that is some of the things, that's when you hear these women tell the story, because that guy turned them on so much.
Yeah, but the problem is, it's like I've done these shows so many times. I just see the same story in different people. I'm sure you've had a similar
100%.
Yeah, and it's the same story. Like, okay, he cheated. Did you leave? No. When did you leave? When he stopped cheating. Like you ask enough questions, they always leave when he stops cheating or he's not cheating. It's like, why didn't you leave when he cheated?
No, here's what happened.
And then he breaks this down pretty well too. She falls out of love emotionally over time. This makes sense as well.
It's not that they left when he stopped cheating. They left when she can mostly be emotionally detached.
Yes.
So here's what happens. A woman will be with a guy, cheats on her, hurts.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. You cheat. This is what happens. You're fucking with a girl. You cheat once. She takes you back. She understands. Oh, don't do it again. Maybe y'all try to go through therapy, do some bullshit. The guy's still going to cheat because sexual access and sexual variety is essential to a man's mental health. Okay. And so he continues to cheat. After like 2 or 3 times, she gets her heart broken. She's crying over him. She's like, why am I crying over this guy? And then what she does is she emotionally detaches. Whether she starts entertaining other guys, she starts talking to other guys, and then she's going to end up slipping and falling on a dick. She's going to cheat back. And then once she cheats back, it's over. There's no tie to that man, especially if that man finds out. Once the woman cheats back, it's completely over. Lat de jour says, fastest way to pull bad bees is to have bad bees. Yeah, I agree. Key says, Mac, did you solve last night's problem? I don't know what you mean by last night's problem.
So it continues to hurt her. She cannot leave at that moment. She's emotionally attached to her. She cannot go from She has to slowly pull away and slowly detach. But in the meantime, she doesn't want to rock the boat. She wants to think that she's about to leave. But she'll be nice, she'll be sweet, she'll be kind. So in that season, usually I found that's when the guy's chilling out. He's like, you know what? I'm chilling out. You know what I mean? I'm not doing as much. I'm not in the streets as much. She's getting better. We're getting better.
Do you think if he cheated again, she would still she would leave then?
No.
I think I
like so say like he cheats once and then the second time he cheats, do you think she would leave?
Oh, well, yeah, for sure. I think so. I mean, that expedites the process like I just explained. He said the problem of your course, you said there was an issue before you could drop. Yeah, I fixed the problem. The course, I'll probably have that by next week. Sorry that it's been delayed, but I got to do a promo video for the course and I want to do something creative. So we'll have that.
Because depending on the woman, depending on her background, depending on her mental state, depending on how much she loves chaos, depending on it's so many different
variables.
No,
it's just like the thing with me is like a lot of them will say he did it multiple times, but they always leave when he stops. Well, and it's just weird to me.
But it's not true that the moment he stopped cheating, because how would she know he stopped cheating? She was always suspicious to begin with. You know what I mean?
The moment like she stops finding evidence of him cheating. It's just weird to me.
Here's what I'm saying. What I've learned is talking. This is why I stopped doing a lot of things that I did. When you're talking to women and you're doing these interviews and you have these lights and you have these beautiful black.
Yep, he's finna make a point that I always say: women lie in front of the cameras. They're not gonna tell you the truth. They're not gonna tell you the truth. They lie to fit their argument. You say, oh well, women like guys who are 6 feet. Well, he don't have to be this. Well, I don't fuck with a short nigga before and all this other shit. Okay. Or women like guys with money. Well, he don't have to have money. I don't fuck with a nigga who is broke. And then it's like, oh, well, was he 6 feet? Yes. Okay, then. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's certain trade-offs that women will make. But overall, they are going to lie when the camera is on. They might even lie when the camera is off just because they're trying to make a point or prove a point that they're different when in all actuality, we all know that they're not. Wolf says, what makes your course better than Bradley Martin's course? I don't know anything about Bradley Martin's course, but he definitely can't do what I do. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing says, by the way, I will buy your course. Cool.
Black magic cameras. They're not going to tell you the honest truth. And when you give women direct questions in front of lights, in front of the camera, they're not telling the truth. That's why, with all due respect to your guy, I didn't want to do a show, not because I don't want to shout him out. If he had a one-on-one podcast, I would do it. But women are not as honest in front of lights, in front of cameras, because for them, expressing logical truths is not the best. If you want to express emotions, ask her. The better question was, okay, when you eventually left him, how did you feel about him? And when did that feeling start? Because usually what you figure out is that emotion was dying. She cut it off months ago. It was dying off.
I agree with you.
And so she stopped searching for cheating. She stopped caring about the thing because she was mostly checking.
I agree. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing says Bradley Martin's course shows guys how to get bigger biceps and chest. Will yours do so? Yeah. So it's gonna help you get bigger biceps, chest, forearms. We even have neck stretches. We have over 2 hours of footage in this course that breaks down every muscle that you're going to be working. It's a full body course. It's not just biceps and arms. There's speed drills, there's strength drills, there's weightlifting drills, there's calisthenics. There's so many different angles with this course. So it's not just going to be focused on one body part. It's going to be focused on your full body. It's going to prepare you for the type of training that you would see in like collegiate or professional sports.
I don't know. I think like sometimes as women we kind of like the drama.
Unhealthy women do.
I just think
healthy women do too. Come on, Hafiz.
There's a part of.
Do you love drama? Do you love a man who's gonna keep on cheating on you, smacking you upside your head, calling you names?
Okay, so cheating and smacking you upside your head is way different. Cheating and just because a guy cheats doesn't mean that he's violent. Okay, I wouldn't equate those. Like they're saying, oh well, he's a bad guy. Well, just because he cheated doesn't even mean that he's a bad guy. It might mean that he's a liar or he lied. But like I'm saying, like because a man wants sexual variety doesn't make him a bad guy.
Oh God!
You said drama.
It's a lot of drama.
Some people you say they love drama. What more is better?
That's trauma. That's physical trauma.
Slapping. Oh God!
Some people like it.
That sounds like it would hurt.
Some people like it. Do you like it?
Do I like drama?
Yeah.
Like ever? I mean, I watch the Kardashians.
Do you like drama?
I think there's some innate part of women in.
He says, okay, sounds great. Anything in there to help lacrosse players or just football players? It's not just about football. It could be basketball, lacrosse, any sport.
General that tends to like drama. I'm not saying all women.
Of course they like drama, but here's the reality. People are using that word drama incorrectly. What's going on is that for healthy women, like yourself, you to describe your father. Shout out to your father and your beautiful mother.
Yeah, shout out Dad.
Respect. You see, Dad and Jen. Come on now. Come on.
You know what's funny? My mom, she would not like that.
Come on. Heck yeah. She's gonna take out that belt later on today.
Okay, I'm 25. Chill out.
Listen, you ain't too grown for it. Well, see, that's that white girl type.
Yeah, I'm 25.
In a black world, they don't care how.
I don't know how y'all do that in Nigeria, but it's like over 21.
Hey, nah, you can get it.
Actually, you know, shout out Nigeria. My whole content team is not Nigeria. Shout out.
Shout out Nigeria. But here's what I would say about the drama part. Healthy women always go back to what's normal to them.
Yeah.
Everybody can like a little bit of drama, but a healthy woman such as yourself, if a man keeps on cheating on her, calling you out your name, you ain't staying there. But a girl who came from a broken background, a broken household, where that's normal, that is home for her. Women always go back home.
Facts.
So to your point, yes, some women do like a basic unhealthy drama. But I would argue women like yourself who come from healthy backgrounds, there's only so much drama they can take before they.
So I do agree. Okay, so there's only so much drama he could take. It's not that they don't like the drama. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they're unhealthy, but I definitely think women like a certain level of drama. And if you're not providing that, then they could get curious and wander off for sure.
They're going to leave this individual.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I just think like this is very honest. It probably makes me look bad, but like I think on some level women like drama, like in general.
So here's
like in general.
So I'm gonna give you one of the things I've been working on. Free game to the people. Explains why women like drama. Use the word drama.
Yeah.
I call this high value man insecurity. I hate using the word high value man. I think it's a terrible word. It's been wasted. I just can't say.
Shout out, Dad.
I'm gonna use it for the sake of this conversation.
Yeah.
High value man insecurity. There is a natural.
So he can't stand using the phrase high value man, but fine with the insecurity part. I can't stand when people do the insecurity thing because it's like, y'all have no idea what an individual is feeling, and you can't just label a certain action insecure without understanding the psychology of that individual. But go off.
Drama that a woman has when she's around a very successful man. Give it a case in point. Let's say you meet your husband, tall, handsome, successful, doing well in life. You and your husband go into a room, right? Let's say you're at a gala. He's handsome. You know that he's handsome. All of a sudden, you see all these women looking at your husband. You walk in the room. Something in you as a woman just starts getting a little jealous, a little territorial, feels kind of way, holding on to him a little bit more.
Yeah, like, back off, bitches.
Exactly, back off. Then all of a sudden, right? He's a successful man. He has to go meet the people, meet the donors, meet the people in the room. He has to go and talk to people.
Yeah.
Your husband goes. He's talking to people, talking to this guy, but he's not rude. He's not sexist. He got to talk to the women as well. He starts talking to the women. All of a sudden, that same girl's giving you dirty looks. He's a man. He didn't notice it, but you notice it. She's now talking to him, and she's laughing and giggling and flirting. He's being kind. Begin the drama. Episode 2 of season 17 of Pearlie's marriage. Now this BI is now trying to take my man.
Yeah.
Begins the drama. Now you're mad at her, but you're also mad at him. Why are you talking to him? Why this, that, and the third? That
for just talking.
trust me, because you're gonna be upset. Like
that's black women. He's talking about black women. White women, they from my experience, I can't speak for all white women, right? But from my experience, I guess the suburban white women, not the ratchet ones, they like their men to be social. Now, I mean, there's obviously a level of respect, like too social, too talkative, too touchy, whatever. But ultimately, I think he's more talking about black women when it comes to, oh, she talking to my man, like da 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 da. Like, I mean, when it comes to a business event, white women don't really be tripping like that. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing says, I watched stream back from last night. Dude who got on your stream gave out his address and his phone number. I think he was drunk. Yeah, that was funny. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing says, suburban white women are where it's at. Mr. Jake the Great says, I send the question to Reclaim Insta. Thanks, big homie. All right, bet.
you should see that she's flirting with you.
Oh, okay.
You're like, I'm like, no. Come on. Stop playing this game. You know how it is.
Why are you every 5 minutes? A lot of games I play.
So what ends up happening is that gives you a little bit of insecurity. That insecurity makes you feel some kind of way. You start playing scenarios in your brain. So that creates the drama. So there's things that are natural. These are natural behaviors that when you're with a very successful, very attractive man, you will feel. And those men, whether they're good or bad or in between, they make women feel that way. And that behavior makes you at times cling closer to that guy, because if the other girl in the room wants him, you definitely don't want the other girls to beat you.
Yeah, they call it I forgot the term it is, but it's like
it's called pre-selection.
It's like when girls prefer the guys that like the girls want.
Yeah. So that's an example of white crazy drama.
Do you not understand though? Because back to something we were talking about earlier, like you don't think men get a bad deal today when it comes to marriage?
100%. Men get bad deals when it comes to marriage, but who is signing those deals? You see, I'm a solution-oriented person.
Yeah, I know. I just want to focus. So you do agree with me then? Okay.
Do men get bad?
So in the Coach Greg Adams episode, he said men never lose in marriage. Now he's admitting that men get bad deals. Which one is it, Hafiz?
Bad deals.
Okay.
But here's the reality: do all men get bad deals? Let's explain. So one of the conversations that people have is about the prenup.
Yeah.
You're in UK, you know this, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know this off the top of my head. So I don't know this study.
Yeah.
Maybe you know this better than I do. I saw a study where it said women from 20 to 29 in UK are starting to out-earn men. Have you seen that study before?
Yeah, I've heard I've heard that in major. I actually didn't hear about that one, but I heard it
in major cities.
In the major cities, yeah.
So
at Google, women were out-earning.
Yes, I love it. So think about that. So there are some men right now who are dating women who out-earn them.
Sure.
To say.
Like that he mentioned, the white woman that he mentioned yesterday, Anna Bay, her man makes less than her.
Yes.
So if that guy gets married to that woman and they get divorced, they don't sign a prenup, who's winning that deal? The person with less money. So for some guys, it is a good deal.
Well, but men only win 13% of alimony cases.
I didn't say alimony.
Okay.
Alimony is a totally different thing because that's a rare occasion. Think about it. To get you want to go down to that.
I mean, but like even if we did like the way it would be split, I think we're gonna get the bad, or the women are gonna get the bad end of the deal.
If you're dating a doctor, I know a guy right now dating a doctor making $410,000 a year. This guy is an audio engineer making about $50,000 a year. So when they split their assets in a divorce case, as I've seen in other situations, and this one woman actually called me in for a session describing what happened, the man is going to get more than what he came in with. That's
not in every situation, but yeah, in some situations, those are rare situations, but for sure.
Why they tell heiresses to sign contracts. They tell heiresses to always sign contracts to prenups because they say, yo, our family got all this money. We don't want that man coming in and taking it. So in some cases, yes, I'm not saying it's most, I'm not saying it's all. In some cases, yes. And so therefore, there are some situations where men are getting better deals. If you are a guy and most girls and you can't get sex consistently, and all of a sudden you find a girl and you convince a girl to want to be with you, even though she's not really happy, and you're getting sex occasionally, you are getting a better deal because in the free market you couldn't get sex consistently. So for some guys, the sex that they're getting, they could not get that in the free market. And so one of my listen. Every man is not the kind of guy who's like, I'm gonna pay a hooker once a week, once every other week.
Yeah, fuck that. Nah, I'm not with that.
I understand that, but I'm just like, God, you're gonna marry her and sign that contract for sex every now and then.
How many men are signing getting married because they're having sex. What are we talking about? That's the world we're living in.
All of them.
That's the world.
No, but I'm just thinking like that's a horrible
Of
deal.
course,
for a guy.
and
That's
now-
a horrible deal.
And now, what did I tell you?
Yeah.
The men are signing those bad deals.
Yeah, I
so
agree.
to me, here's my rule of thumb with marriage. This is why, like I said, I'm a little bit nuanced.
Yeah.
I view successful marriage as successful businessmen. You have a successful YouTube channel,
Uh-huh.
but you know the analytics more than everybody else. How many percent of YouTube channels have 10,000 subscribers? How many have 100,000 subscribers? How many have 500,000 subscribers? You can look it up right now on Social Blaze Analytics, and you can be able to see that you are part of the 0.1% of 1% of
cool.
content creators. You are at the top of the mountain.
Yeah, that's facts. She knew that though.
But guess what happens? What is your third tier on Patreon that you're doing?
Third tier?
Of your on the YouTube membership or Patreon? What
tier of social media?
Social media, and what are you helping them with?
Oh, that's the fourth tier. I do want to.
Fourth tier is one-on-one sessions. The third tier is when you said you're helping them with social media, isn't it?
No, it's like you connect on social media.
Okay, the fourth tier is one-on-one coaching, right?
Yeah.
So why are people calling you? Because they want to get to where you're at.
Yeah.
They want to get to the 0.1%, the 0.1%,
Yeah.
0.1%.
Yeah.
Do you tell them, hey, reality is 99% of people will never get here, so stop wasting your time? No, you say, you know what, even if most people are not going to get here, I'm going to help you get there. So for me, there are people who are married right now. I'm not sure if your parents are still married or not.
Yeah, they are.
Shout out to your beautiful
Shout
parents.
out. They have 10 kids too.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it all.
Yeah.
There are people like your parents and my parents who are living happy, healthy marriages.
Right.
My biggest thing is I want to create more of that. I know it's the exception, not the rule. I want to create more of that. The same way there's a limited amount of millionaires, but we still want to all aspire to be millionaires. I want to aspire for the best.
Yeah. No, and I agree with you, but like I just really understand the guys when they want to walk away. Because
walking away is for quitters.
But when I hear these at least
I wouldn't say that guys are necessarily walking away. I would say that, you know, maybe some guys are going overseas and definitely some guys are going monk mode, but that's to get their shit together so that they can be better prepared when they actually do decide to get a chick.
Legally. At least legally, because when I hear these laws, I'm like, this is crazy.
You can protect yourself from these things. It's the year 2000. See, here's my problem. I listen. Being black in America, you don't get victimhood excuses. You don't get the.
But that's all that black people do is take the victim mindset. So I don't know what he's talking about. You may not say that you don't get victimhood excuses, but you look at all these single mothers getting bailed out, bruh.
Whine and complain. You see, the biggest problem, especially with a lot of these red pill, manosphere kind of guys, is they get to play the victim all day long. Being black in America, there's no excuses. I don't care the laws. I don't care what the police says. I don't care who's racist. I don't care. Make it work. Make it work. So women like you, and all due respect, you guys, oh my gosh, support guys, and it's so hard for them. Man, that's life. That is life. Let me finish. That is life for a man. It is extremely difficult. It is extremely challenging. Bad things happen to you, and you have to learn how to overcome it. It is the year 2022. I understand the year 1992 when bad things were happening that you had nothing to do with it. Now there is so many tools, resources online to be able to protect yourself and prevent these things from happening. Those old school messages are not relevant in 2022 in the information era.
I'm not saying like poor men, I'm saying like I feel like the laws should change. So I understand the mindset of we are walking away until the laws change. It's kind of like a protest.
Sure.
You don't understand that?
Sure. Like, let's be honest. Let's stop playing this game.
I mean, nothing wrong with that. We're boycotting. Well, me personally, I'm not. I'm just observing and watching the fallout.
What kind of men are walking away? What kind of men are walking away? Is it really the men that women want, the really attractive, handsome, successful men that are walking away? Or is that really what's going on? Or is it the 23-year-old virgin who can't have any sex? You say, I'm walking away from women. They walked away from you first. So my biggest thing with some of this protesting is who's protesting? Because it's so funny because what happens if you have all these guys on the internet saying, I don't do relationships. And I know them in person and they have girlfriends. They
Wolf in Sheep's Clothing says, Reclaim, do you know how to network? For sure.
have wives on the side. They don't tell people these things.
Lat de Jour says, read about a case where a woman got her husband's prospective earnings before he graduated medical school. Wow, that's crazy. No, I didn't do ROTC. Lat de Jour said, bruh got his wages garnished before he even started practicing medicine. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
No one's walking away but the foolish kids who are watching this content online. Those guys not walking away. You think they're living without women? You think they don't have a relationship? You think they don't have any kids?
No,
Come on. Stop playing
I said
this
walking
game.
away from no games. No game.
Not you. Not you.
No,
Pearly.
so I know I'm saying like they're walking away from marriage. And you can see that, and you can see that because the marriage rates are lower than lower. 50% of women that hit 30 are single and childless.
So
I would
who's walking away? Are the billionaires walking away from marriage? Are the heiresses walking away from marriage?
The first person that comes into my head is Leonardo DiCaprio. That man is not married.
What about George Clooney?
George Clooney.
Come on, we can go.
I'm not a big movie person. I just think
George Clooney's a big star like Leonardo DiCaprio.
He's the
Leonardo's
what is he in? Top something?
He's in, no, that's Tom Cruise. That's in Top Gun.
I'm really.
That's not Tom Cruise. That's Tom Hanks in Top Gun.
I'm not trying to be disingenuous. I'm just really not a movie person.
My point is, show me who's walking away. Stop playing these games. Women don't care about those guys who are walking away. Go. They're freaking Red Pill Randy 7X253. Don't care about him walking away. Come on.
Oh, never mind. That is Tom Cruise. I'm tripping.
Man, those guys they will get married. The Rock is married. LeBron James is married. Jay-Z is married. Stop playing these games. They don't care about those guys. You're not protesting. You think it's like that fat girl who's like, we're having a sex protest. The 300-pound beluga whales are having a sex protest, and all of a sudden the men are going to behave themselves. Yeah, right. No one cares about you protesting.
It's interesting. I know I've just met a lot of guys through the show that have said like that they want, and I know you'll say maybe they're capping, I don't know, but they don't want to get married at least legally. And I understand that. Like if you wouldn't want to get married legally.
Let me tell you about those guys. There was a time in the day where there's a bunch of feminists. They were in their early 20s, and they would say, we're not having any kids. The world's overpopulated. Oh, marriage is this. We're not having any children. This, that,
you think they're the exact equivalent?
100% the exact equivalent. And all of a sudden, 35 years old, you knock on that girl's door. Hey, Susie. Oh. Back there. Oh, Afisa, those are my kids. 1, 2, 3. You got 3 kids? What happened to that feminist stuff when the world's overpopulated? This, that, and third? Man, I was 20 years old, Afisa. It was just, I was in college. And my hair was blue. It was just a phase. See me in 10 years. See, my play is 10 years. Right now, people don't realize I'm stopping putting out content. I'm actually slowing everything down intentionally because in 10 years, it's going to be time. In 10 years, what's going to happen is we will see who is right and who is wrong. We will see how many of these people were saying, I'm never going to get married. We're going to see. Because right now we're in an era of where everybody can say whatever they want to say, but then all of a sudden, the same way there was a time in the day where the pickup artist community was the most prevalent community in today's society, and all of a sudden, years later, it fell apart because it was not good for the long haul. So, my biggest thing is that is let's play the 10-year game, and in 10 years, we will see if I'm a faker, if I'm a liar, if I'm deceitful, you will see, and I deserve to be exposed and hung from the highest cross. But my biggest,
I don't think it's that deep, bro. I don't think it's that deep. You're gonna see guys from the red vitamin space get married for sure. And then you're going to see them get divorced as well. So, and then he's going to say, oh, well, it was the man's fault. The man's the leader. So it was his fault that he got married and his fault that he got divorced. We get it, Hafiz. We get it, bro.
Thing that we will see, and we will be able to figure out that the guys who are lying, who are capping, and they will see it later. And what breaks my heart is that there's going to be a whole community of guys who are going to follow these men to the end of the earth, and they're going to change their ways at the end of the race. And all of a sudden, the guys will be like, what happened? The same way, shout out to my girl, Sham Booty. Sham Booty said one of my biggest regrets is when I was in my 20s, I told women that I didn't want any kids. I don't want any kids. I don't want any kids. And all of a sudden now I'm 35. I have a bunch of kids. I'm the happiest person on planet Earth. And it hurts me because there were some women who took my advice. Now they're never going to have any kids because they're not 45. They're not like me who can be able to have kids older in life. So my biggest thing is that when we're giving people real life advice and real life information, we will see in 10 years how much you live this life. How much is this for the content? How much is this is this about what you genuinely believe? We will see in 10 years.
So what percent of red pill content creators do you think actually live the life that they say?
To your point, the challenge is entertainment. And the best comedy is that office type of where you don't know what's serious and what's not. So to me, if I was to look at their content, I would say maybe 2-3 of them.
2%. If
that live. Because to me, I know it.
I'm trying to figure out who the fuck he's talking about. And nigga throwing shots, but it's like I really don't see any red vitamin content creators who aren't living the life that they're saying. Like if a nigga is purple pill, he's telling people he's purple pill. Like Alpha Male Strategy said, he be having 2 or 3 bitches. Like he tells people. Coach Greg Adams said he at the junior college. You see Fresh and Fit. They say they're in polygynous relationships. I'm trying to figure out what he's talking about. Even what's his name? Donovan Sharp. He talks about being the offensive coordinator of the manosphere, right? So he's in a relationship for sure, but he's kind of, he's got this whole thing, the how to relationship thing. So I'm trying to figure out who he's specifically talking to, but he doesn't name drop anybody. Even Rolo speaks about maintaining his marriage. So I don't know.
As a guy, you can be like, man, I tell women this, and I tell women that, and I tell, but man, you ain't doing that back home. Stop playing. It's just talk. But then there might be a young guy who's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it like that. It's just talk.
Can I have an example?
Huh?
Can I have an example?
I personally will not talk about anybody if they're
here's the bullshit.
Not in the room. I will not.
No, you don't. You can just be abroad. You don't have to say their name or anything. I meant like an example of a situation like that.
So here's the deal. Like I said, a lot of people tell me stuff in private that I'm not gonna ever shout out publicly, but I'm gonna give you examples. There's guys who will tell you, don't do it.
I'm trying to figure out who he's talking to. To me, it sounds like he might be talking about Fresh and Fit, but Usually when the girls ask him, are you in a relationship? He's like, oh, I'm in multiple. So, or they're like, we're in multiple. So I really don't know who he's talking about.
Years later, then you'll have a whole girlfriend.
Mhm.
I don't do family. Then years later, they're married.
Who
So
though?
to me, you, like I said, it's a this next 10. See,
Mhm.
I've been watching male content for so long, and I've seen how this stuff goes.
And you just see how it plays
I've
out.
seen the cycle.
Yeah.
I've seen the dudes that come on the scene and say this and so hard, and I'm this and I'm
Yeah.
that, and then you just wait, guys, wait. Let's see how his life really turns out.
Mhm.
You're like, oh my gosh, another one. This is another cycle to me,
Mhm.
and it breaks my heart because what I love that you said is it's entertainment. Keep it 100. It's entertainment, and you are also trying to help, but it's primarily for entertainment. So don't act like you really believe all these ideals, everything that you're communicating to these men. Stop acting like you genuinely believe all these things because you don't. And let's keep it 100. I would never be, if the red pill simply said, it's all of our opinions, a lot of it is jokes, we're not really serious about most of this stuff. Some of it we are, some of it we believe, but most of it is just a little funny. I would have no problems whatsoever. But when you say we are the truth, come on, man. Don't let's not do this. Let's not deceive these men. I won't deceive these men. Please don't deceive these men. These are real life human beings, and their real life lives, and their children's lives, and their grandchildren's lives that are at stake. Like you said, it's a serious problem going on in today's world. Let's not play around with these men. It is a matter of life and death in the tongue.
But
Do not play
awareness
with these men and their lives and their legacy.
Awareness of female nature is pertinent, and it needs to be spread. And I think that's mainly what guys are doing. So, I mean, what does he want them to do? Just, shut down their fucking podcast? I'm trying to figure out what exactly he's wanting these guys to talk about.
I refuse to do that.
So what are solutions to you, Ben?
So I love your question. Solution number one is we need to build up stronger, more competent, powerful men who are assertive, who have boundaries, who are respectful, who are financially stable, who are physically fit, who are emotionally healthy, who are spiritually grounded. We need well-rounded men who not only have all the skills that make women happy, but also have all.
My man said, Lat de Jour says, Hafiz speaks at 3x speed, bruh. No cap.
All the skills that make a woman horny. We need those men, not just these, these nice guy weenie hut juniors who are doormats. Shout out SpongeBob,
bruh. So, like I said, he's saying we don't need nice guy Weenie Hut Juniors, but I mean the nice guys are the guys who I think deserve it the most.
See, you watch Little T.
Tesla said, "Can I join the stream?" I mean, I'm gonna drop the chat if you join the stream. You can do it. That's fine. Oh shit! Hold up, my bad. That was the wrong link.
No, I don't. I did. I actually have never. I didn't know that was from SpongeBob.
It was. And we don't also need these hyper masculine bravado Gaston-like characters. We don't need either or. We need strong, competent, capable men, and we need to create places where those
strong, competent, capable, monogamous is what he really meant.
Where men can come and get those resources. That's why I'm so passionate about the standard. The reality of the standard is when men join the standard, they're around my life. I can't fake nothing. I told the guys this in December when I started. I said, yo, if I'm faking what I'm saying, if I don't live what I preach, you guys will be around. Shout out to JR Garcia and the Andres and the Ryan and all the guys in the standard. They know it. They know it. They're around me all the time. I can't. I'm not faking it. I told you, if I'm fake, they can expose me in a minute because they're around me. So my biggest thing is that we need to go and create communities where we're building up men. We're teaching them how to have healthy marriages because some marriages do work. Do a lot of them unhappy? Yes. But some are happy. Let's learn from them. Let's replicate them.
All right, let's see what Tesla talking about. Hold on. Let me just make all right. What up, yo?
Hello?
Yo, what's good?
We need strong masculine men.
For sure, for sure. I mean, you have anything else to add?
Yeah, we need more men in the red pill manosphere.
Yeah, nah, I definitely agree. I think that awareness needs to be had for sure. So is that all you got, bro?
Yeah, we need to find a way to get your channel out to more people so we can spread your message.
Yeah, that's I mean, that's up to the algorithm. So, but I'm gonna keep making content. It is what it is. It'll grow eventually. Just gotta stick to it, stay active, and keep pushing out content. That's really what it's about.
Okay, man, keep pushing out your content. I believe.
Hey, appreciate that, boy. So shout out to Tesla. Hopped on the stream. I don't know exactly where he's from, but seemed like he was cool. You know what I'm saying? I know he's been in the chat making jokes, and we've been, fucking around and whatnot. But all in all, solid dude, I think.
Let's learn from your parents. Let's learn from my parents. Let's learn from the people who are doing well. And let's teach the men how to do those things. Let's also protect the men. Protect the men. If you're a guy, you have lots of money, let's protect them. If you're a guy, you're worried about.
Shout out to Alpha Zoe. He says, reclaim your throne for Prezi. And I just want to go back to something Hafiz said. He said, if he's a guy with a lot of money, let's protect him. Then you're a guy with a lot of money. What's up with not signing the prenup, bro? What's up with not having your girl sign a prenup? It sounds like you weren't trying to protect yourself.
Let's also protect the men. Protect the men. If you're a guy, you have lots of money, let's protect them. If you're a guy, you're worried about your children losing custody, let's protect them. Let's teach strategies and techniques to protect men as well as women, because to me, the best advice benefits men and benefits women. I want you protected as well. I don't want you to be 45 years old and all of a sudden your husband says, screw you, I'm about to get a new woman. Now all of a sudden you're 45 with three kids, and now you're like, I want to go back into the mating market after I hit the wall. I don't want to go back into the mating market.
I mean, I don't know why he put air quotes on the wall. The wall is reality, bruh.
That's not fair. We have to protect you as well. So I want to protect the men, protect the women. And on top of that, while we're building up stronger men, we got to build up healthy women. Because my biggest pushback, why I don't like showing the hoes on your show, the currency of today's is attention. That is a currency. If you ask an 18-year-old kid, which one would you rather have, 1 million followers and $1 million followers and $1,000, or 1,000 followers and $1 million?
Well, 1,000 and $1 million.
You ask the average 18-year-old kid today.
No, I'm thinking like you'd have to make the.
I mean, I don't think everybody would choose the followers, but maybe if you ask a woman, for sure. Ask a woman that, but not the men. The men aren't that stupid.
The money higher for it to be comparable.
$1 million and 1,000 followers, or 1 million followers and 1,000. Sorry.
Oh yeah, then I picked $1 million.
18-year-old kids know what the currency of today is? Followers.
Yeah.
They want their clout.
Yeah.
They want that blue check. They want that followers on TikTok. You don't give a thing about.
Wolf says, well, most of these guys don't know how to articulate themselves. Alphazo says men don't hit the wall unless they are lazy, unmotivated, and don't work out.
The money, because they're like, I'll use my followers to get the money. They think the attention today is the currency. So a lot of these women who are doing this foolishness, you know why they're doing it? Because there's attention there. If there was no attention, they wouldn't do it. If these girls, if they twerked on Instagram and they got 2 followers and they got 3 likes,
I mean, you can say that, but good luck getting all those Indian men in the comment section to stop commenting, Hafiz. We just saw the U.S. Census Bureau data. There's 1.3 billion people in India, and I would say at least half of them are simps in these OnlyFans hoes comment section.
You're going to stop twerking real goddamn quick. And so my biggest thing is that we need to stop incentivizing their behavior. We need to stop celebrating these women's unhealthy behavior. We need to stop showing them. We need to freaking give them no attention. You see what happens is, and
Wolf in Sheep's Clothing says he is incorrect. 18-year-olds will choose $1 million, I think. Lat de jour says, bruh, I don't know of any 18-year-old that's turning down $1 million. Yeah, I don't know either. Probably a woman, like I said, she'll take the followers, but the men, they're taking the money. Alphazo says, as long as you become financially literate, keep a job, a career, and don't have a bunch of kids from different women, a man will be okay in the long run for sure.
It's like La La Land to me. That'll never happen.
Well, guess what? No, also is La La Land the world that you're describing as well.
No, it's not. The world that she's describing is how the world is now. That's not La La Land. That's reality, bro.
Because you asked somebody 70 years ago, could the world ever get this bad? They say it would never get this way. It would never get this bad. This will never happen. But guess what? Sometimes La La Land exists in good and in bad. So the same way society can go down, unless you're saying screw it and screw it.
I think in the 70s they would have believed it. What you mean, the free love shit?
Yeah, for sure.
And that was some hippies in California. Those some hippies in Woodstock.
Bruh, to say that the hippie movement didn't make broad sweeping changes is ridiculous. I mean, rock and roll. I mean, they're going to say, oh, black people started rock and roll. Well, I'm talking about rock and roll as we know it. Bro, that was literally fueled by the hippie movement, fueled by that 70s free love vibe.
They didn't think that would go into New York City and Alabama and Iowa and South Dakota and Arkansas. They didn't believe it was going to go all around the world like the way it is going right now. My point is, we need to stop it. The people with wisdom need to stop incentivizing those women. I never forget, and I keep on going back to it. Women know I can go in your charm school. I can act a fool, and guess what? My OnlyFans will go up because I will get more followers. The more
no, their OnlyFans is going up the more skin they show. It's not necessarily that she goes on a show, because there's not even a lot of women who are going on this show. As a matter of fact, I think Fresh and Fit have only interviewed 1,700 women. That's not nearly even a dent in the percentage of women that are actually out here who are doing the same shit that the women on Fresh and Fit are doing outside in these streets.
Rude I am on your show, on Wife Academy. I'm the nasty B word. I'm going to get more followers. I'm going to get more guys subscribed to my OnlyFans. So they're incentivized to go on your show and act the fool. Screw that. You are not getting a dollar, a penny, a cent from me. I will give you zero brand awareness. I will give you zero publicity because we're not celebrating women like you. We are celebrating the positive women.
Like I said, good luck getting those Indian men to stop commenting on these IG thoughts pictures.
The healthy women, the women who want to create lasting families, women who actually want to stay through thin and thick. We want to celebrate women like that. That's the solution. Emphasizing, highlighting those women. And all women, all the Instagram followers, why do they have millions of followers? Why are men following those women? You're calling them 304s. Why are you following them? Why are you on their page? Why are you liking them? If men simply said, screw it.
And I agree. Y'all shouldn't be following IG thoughts unless they follow you back. Okay. For sure.
We're done with the Instagram. We're done with the OnlyFans. We're done with the TikTok. Men can shut this whole thing down. They make their money from men. Men are the leaders in society.
They do make their money from men, but there's way too many simps to stop it. Hafiz, you can't stop simping. I mean, look at yourself. You went from, red vitamin ideologies or praxologies, whatever you want to fucking call it. And now you're like just straight, on the blue vitamin God pill wave, which, I get it. But at the same time, bro, it's like you can't stop the simp mentality.
So to me, we either play the victim mindset and woe is me, the world coming to an end and screw it. I'm just going to go hide and travel the world and bang random unhealthy women. Or we can say, you know what, society's going to hell in the handbasket, but not during my lifetime. During my lifetime, while I'm here, I'm going to do every freaking thing in my power to stop this foolishness from going down. Even if things are not creating a lasting change, it will. The ship will not go down on my watch.
It's just interesting. You have all this, like, men should be more, but like, I didn't really hear much that the women need to do.
What did I tell you at the very beginning? You weren't even listening.
What?
Cyrus Cherry with the $5 super trap. He says he used a bad analogy, but in his defense, people would take the million and spend it on followers. Yeah, possibly. Alvazo says, why didn't Hafiz have any heat for the OF broad on SOS show? Exactly, the Adam Sosnick joint. He didn't ask her about her OF affecting her kids' mental, how her digital footprint will last forever. Exactly. He softballed it because he's pandering to women now, because he knows that's where the bag is. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing says, I don't know who's in the comments, more old white men trying to sugar baby or the Indian men. Right. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing says, no cap, though, Tino, I followed your IG and you follow some thotties. What IG? My Instagram? Which IG are you talking about? My because I don't follow no bitches who don't follow me back. So if I do follow some thotties, they follow me back.
What did I tell you?
You said we need to.
I said women such as yourself have the most power. You know why? Because you have the ability to create healthier women. You're a woman. They will be able to listen to you. Once you get the credibility, once you get your tone, once you get your approach. I can't create Wife Academy. That idea I had years ago. I couldn't create it. I'm just a man telling women how to be a wife. No, they're not going to listen to me.
Why not like Kevin Samuels did?
Let me tell you something.
That's like, I would say his audience was like 40% women, which is really mad in the manosphere.
Let me tell you something. And look up School of Affluence when you get the chance. She is she does a little bit differently, but she has like a 90% female audience. But she's a little bit different. She doesn't have the values that you and I may have. But she's teaching women how to be the women that the kind of man that she goes after, wants, and she has a huge audience for it. So my biggest thing is, God rested the dead, nothing but great things. I will always say publicly nothing but great things about the Godfather himself, Kevin Samuels.
You heard what he
said. My biggest thing is, I don't want 40.
You heard he said, I say great things publicly. What is he saying privately?
I want you to get 80-90% of women. I want you to be, and women like yourself, to be able to help a next generation of women. And we are doing it with the standard. A lot of women come to our events. A lot of really healthy women are.
He said, maybe it's the Explore page thotties you follow for your videos I'm talking about. I don't follow no Explore page thotties. I don't know what you're talking about, bruh. You talking about on my Reclaim Your Throne account or Quarantino the Guide? Because I guarantee you won't find no Explore page thotties. I only follow like 600 people.
Are being tapped into the community. Could have seen, while those guys are over there, those guys are being successful, because what happens is, like you said, the women want the attention from the men. If the men are like, we don't want OnlyFans, no, we don't want Pornhub, No, we don't want that. No, some of the women will get in line. Will most of them get in line? It doesn't matter. We want some of them to get in line. And then you factor that into the equation. Women such as yourself and other content creators like you who are now creating a healthier, better generation of women, not worried about those 3 or 4s and just simply trying to make mindless content, but actually taking the women who want to learn, giving them the tools to be successful. That truly, to me, will create the change in society.
But I just think like 40% of, I mean, I think we just see it in a different way. Like I think 40% of like millions is better than 90% of 1,000.
Anna Bay, pull up your phone right now. Type in Anna Bay. Tell me how many followers she has.
So this phone, you can do it on your phone because this phone died. This is my UK phone, so like it actually doesn't. This phone died.
I'm gonna pull up Anna Bay's YouTube channel, and I'm gonna show it to you.
Okay.
Let's pull up Anna Bay's YouTube channel.
Would you say she had the same poll like Kevin Samuels, Andrew Tate, any of them?
Oh, he said maybe the QDG Twitter, the like photo. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I do use those photos for thumbnails and shit.
Okay.
How many followers does she have?
1.39 million.
You go to her videos and see her videos as well. Go ahead, do your thing.
Yeah. I'm looking.
My point is that the win is.
I wonder if you think she'd do wife school.
Trust me, she's doing wife school her way. That's what I'm telling you. She's doing, but she's high society, high class.
I was like, I'd pay her for like an episode.
No, trust me, you have to pay a lot of money. She's.
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
no, trust me, I know how much money you make. You're doing well. So. Trust me, I understand. People tell me a lot of things. I know. I've been around the block. I meet a lot of different people. I know you're doing well. My point of reason I brought up Anna Bay because she's doing very, very, very high end things, and obviously she's in Europe as well, which might work.
Bruh, Anna Bay is not with a millionaire, bro. We already debunked that shit. So she's trying to make it seem like she's just dating millionaires. She's not. She's dating a well-off guy. He's making 6 figures for sure, but he's not a millionaire.
Will be better for you. I think she's in Sweden, by the way.
He doesn't make more money than her.
And so my point with her is that she actually has a community of women. She's able to talk directly to women and to be able to influence and change women's lives. And so to me, that is what it's about. We need women doing that.
You just cannot argue that she has the same reach as someone like Kevin Samuels. And that's what I'm saying. Like 40% of a million.
And she's not a good influence. She's teaching women to be gold diggers. Like it's fucking bullshit. The fact that he even mentioned her is crazy.
Then 90% of 1,000. And I know she's got 1.4, but I'm saying like Kevin was bigger. Like everyone knew who he was.
Here's the reality. Similar to you and I.
Yeah.
We are both forgetting 2 fundamental.
And I guarantee her husband is not monogamous. Fuck out of here. He's literally in Europe where prostitution is legal. It's crazy. Let's see. Lat DeJour says, reclaim, do you still have your QDG OF up? So the QDG OnlyFans turned into the Reclaim Your Throne OnlyFans, but yes, it's still up. He says, is he talking about the gold digger from last stream? Yeah. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing says, back in 5th grade, I got my girlfriend taken by a light-skinned dude. I never looked at light-skinned niggas the same. That's hilarious. Lat DeJour says, wife school should be teaching women how to cook, clean, and raise children, not be a gold digger. Facts. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing says, how many subs do you have on OF? 0. Absolutely none. Cyrus Cherry says, she's teaching them how to be gold diggers. Don't a lot of red vitamin men know women want them for their money? So it's not necessarily that women want you for your money in totality. We just say that it's a good tool to pull women. Okay. So it's not necessarily that she wants you for your money. I say that looks is the most important thing. Some people say that money is the most important thing. Some people say status is the most important thing. I say looks is the most important thing because a hot broke guy can get a bitch, and he can get a bitch with money. He can get a bad bitch. You see all these thug niggas with skinny jeans with lawyers and women who are doctors in the medical field and whatnot. So, so yeah, for sure. Money is a factor, but it's not just like, oh, the women want you for your money only. I think when it comes to money, that plays into play when you do have money. You're with a woman and then she realizes that she can take advantage of the situation. So that's how I would depict it, I guess.
Things. Like I said, I don't like talking about individual people. Kevin is not here.
The only reason I'm just using it as an example. Like that's the only reason.
Here's what I'm saying. shout out to Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels, he would do a lot of things in person. He had to stop because of COVID. But my biggest thing is that the reach is great. God bless the reach. But what's really most impactful, what takes the most time, is to invest your time and energy into actually being with the individuals.
Oh, like events you're talking about?
Yeah, events, meetups. That takes time. You can't record 7 days a week if you're doing meetups and doing events and traveling around the world.
Yeah,
and actually,
because we're trying to set the. Yeah,
I'm telling you,
I know though.
So to me, it goes back to what maximum exposure or maximum impact. There's a balancing act, and the more you want to have an impact, the less of exposure you're going to have, because impact happens right here, face to face, one person to person. You can't only do so much of that. And so my biggest thing is the maximum impact.
Well, you could film those interactions.
Impact I believe women such as yourself can do is actually one, being the thing that you're telling women that they need to be. To start off with yourself, to be like, you know what, women should get married, they should be this, that, and the third. You need to be, that needs to be priority number one on your list. And then once you're able to do,
I mean, like I said, it's not in Pearl's best interest to get married unless she's getting married to somebody who is involved with her podcast, because this is the gravy train. You know what I mean? Like, you don't just jump off of this train.
Do that yourself. You'll be able to then help other women get there as well. That to me is a change, because my desire is that a 17-year-old woman can say, you know what, I can either be the Instagram model, have millions of subscribers, have millions of dollars, but no husband, no children, living a depressed life, or I can be just Pearly Things. Have a beautiful husband, have a beautiful children, have a beautiful life, also have the millions of dollars in subscribers, and do it the right way. When we're able to show a society that there is an alternative, because what's happening in today's world is that the alternative is not more sexier than the other thing. I want to lift up the alternative. That's why I'm so passionate about being in this world, and women like you, like I said previously, I can't do it. You guys got to do it.
What do you think of divorce? Do you think there is ever an instance when someone should get divorced?
100,000%, of course. That's why God put it in the Old Testament and the New Testament. Of course,
you're a better Christian than me. Like, I don't actually know that.
Yeah.
What are the reasons?
Adultery.
Okay, adultery.
Because you left the covenant.
Okay.
So here's how it works in Christian theology.
Okay.
You have a covenant with one another. You make an agreement. If one person chose to leave the covenant, therefore it's already over. They've already divorced. So therefore, if the agreement in the covenant is you and I are only going to be our only two partners, you've stepped out of the covenant and went and became one with somebody else. You've already left me. I'm not divorcing you. You've divorced me. So divorce is situations where there's a place, and there's a lot of more nuance, because in New Testament theology, there's also something called the hardness of the heart, and that's when the other person has done things that are so depraved, and they're not even trying to make this marriage work. And case in point example, for like a woman. If a woman has an abusive husband that's beating her up every single day, should we tell her to go back to her husband? You know what I mean? That's foolishness, right? Or a man has a woman who's always trying to stab him with knives and attack him in his house. Should we tell him to go back to that woman? Of course not. So obviously, it's a case-by-case basis. There's a lot of nuance in between.
What do you think about when men are in sexless marriages? Do you think they should leave?
Here's the reality.
Because 1 in 4 marriages are sexless.
And that's a problem.
Okay.
So my biggest thing, so here's the reality. My dad always said prevention is better than the cure. To cure a problem is huge. Prevent it is right. So I'm all about prevention, right? I'm all about preventing this from happening. If you and your wife get married and you're a guy, you're trying to get married, because we have a lot of practical, tangible advice about getting married. It's not being naive and being like, oh, everything's gonna be happily ever after. It's not being nihilistic. It's gonna end in a divorce no matter what. Realism. Practical advice. Here's a practical advice about getting married. You and your wife need to sit down and talk about what is expected. You don't do the right thing. I know I'm going around the block, but I'm gonna get there, right? Here's an example. If you want children, how many children do you want?
I would say as many as I can.
Let's say you want 5 kids.
Yeah, I was about to say 4 or 5. Yeah.
You want 5 kids. You meet a guy and you say, hey, you know what? I really want kids. Do you want kids? He said yes.
Yeah.
Right? You get married. You want kids? Yeah. Year 2 of marriage. You want kids? Yeah. Year 5 of marriage. You want kids? Yeah. Hold on 1 second. 7 years. You haven't had any kids. Do you want kids? I don't want any kids anymore. Did you say married to that man?
No. I would. Yeah.
Because what happened? He promised you one thing.
Children. Yeah.
He promised you something meaningful to.
Okay. Should we finish off? I mean, we don't have too much time left. Cyrus Cherry says, since you multitask, you ever thought about doing movie or TV show reviews? Not really. I'm not into that. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing says, and that's too many copyright issues. Do you know anything about the ancient Mesopotamian people and the way that they were all homosexual? I wouldn't say they were all homosexual, but I do know a good amount about ancient Mesopotamia. Cyrus Cherry says, Wolf, are you talking about the Greeks? Right. Lat de Jour says, Hafiz didn't negotiate a prenup, but guaranteed that he negotiated sex. Yeah, for sure. Alvazo says, look at Russell Wilson going out sad. His player career now being affected. Former and current players claiming that he's a Hollywood drama prima donna. Future claiming that he still be smashing on C. Exactly.
To you.
Yeah.
And he tricked you. You only agreed to that covenant because there was rules. The rule was we're gonna have kids. That's why I signed this deal. Then all of a sudden you changed up on me, and now you're saying no kids ever, and now I'm gonna be a barren woman and die alone. No, that's wrong. So of course he's broken the covenant. He's broken the promise to you. Same way with the sexless marriage. So if you are a guy and we're agreeing, oh, marriage, we're gonna be having sex consistently, at least twice a week, at least once a week. That's what we're doing. That's what we agreed upon. That's part of our agreement. Now you're in year 5 and she doesn't want to have sex anymore. She changed her mind. She's not in the mood. Now 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, a year into it, no sex. Hey baby, I want to have sex. Hey baby, I want to have sex. I want to have sex. Hey baby, let's do it. No. I signed this deal because you promised me sex. Now all of a sudden you switch up on me. You've broken the terms of this agreement. You've left this covenant. You've left, not me. You've tricked me. You deceived me. So, man, no, it's unhealthy.
What if she's fat?
Damn, I just seen a story saying that Singer says ex-NFL tight end cheated on her with more than 13 women. They're saying Jana Kramer reportedly has custody of the kids 70% of the time, but still pays Mike Cousin for child support. The country singer says she destroyed his Xbox when she found out about his actions. So there you have it right there. High value men exercising options. Hafiz, we're not saying it's right. We're just saying it's reality. So if you think you can change these men's mind, then, you know, by all means, go at it. But I wouldn't hold your breath. I wouldn't at all. Alphazo says that Sierra energy bringing him down. Lat de Jour says Russell Wilson a plantain, brown on outside and white on inside due to lame. Alphazo says my homie from the Green Bay Packers ? Does he play for the Packers? Let's see. Who does he play for? I'm not sure. I'll look it up.
Going back, I feel this way.
Yeah.
If you agreed to stay in shape,
I got a lot of flack for that one.
No, you agreed to stay in shape.
You can leave the whales. You hear it from Hafiz.
Listen, I'm not saying leave the whales.
You didn't use those words.
I didn't say leave the whales.
By the way, we're dropping whale merch soon.
Oh Lord Jesus! Look at whales. Call them Moby Dicks.
Now we call them entitled whales.
Oh Lord Jesus! To me, that is not fair.
Yeah,
if my woman met me with a 6-pack abs, ripped muscles, looking good, she's always turned on by me, and all of a sudden years later.
So former tight end for the Jaguars. He also played for the Bills and the Redskins.
I'm a fat, disgusting blob looking like Jabba the Hutt from Star Wars, looking like one of those things from WALL-E. And then all of a sudden she's not turned on by me. She said, "Hey baby, can you get back in shape?" I say no. "Hey baby, can you lose some weight?" I say no. Why? That's not fair for her. I agreed. Why don't you do something else? So if your woman promised you, made an agreement, she's one thing, it's a medical emergency and it's a season of her life. But if she's like, "I am 300 pounds now, I will not lose a single pound. Screw you, you got to deal with it." That is not what I signed up for. And as a man, there needs to be repercussions. Going back to marital agreement, there needs to be repercussions. I'm not saying divorce. I never said once you purchase divorce for either situation. But I'm saying there needs to be a repercussion for tricking somebody into that contract.
Because that's like, I just feel like a lot of my empathy comes from, like, I hear stories from these, like, I'm sure you get them too. And they're like so sad. Like, they're so sad.
That is so sad. The stories are.
Look at this shit. It's patronizing, condescending, making fun of men who hurt you. It's shaming language. It's bullshit.
And the men know we gotta cry for the guys. It's so sad.
You're kind of rude.
Yeah, he's a fucking dick. But like I said, we like Hafiz, but I don't like the attitude that he's taking towards men now. And I don't know which content creators that he's seeing that has made him react in this way. But it's pretty funny, honestly. And these are the same men that he wants to buy his $500 suits and spend $300 on a 30-minute call with him. Alphazo says, if it's him, then yeah, that boy was banging hella girls. He said, I wish some of guys knew how most of these girls really got down for sure. He said, I wish Hafiz knew as well. Right. Lat de Jour says, don't matter how bad a chick is, pussy gets old. Facts.
But I'm saying, like, you don't feel bad, like, okay, because there's some guys that are honestly in like bad situations where they married a girl and they think like one thing, and then she gains a bunch of weight, won't have sex with him, and if they leave, like, they're putting the kids at a big advantage. And like it's kind of like and if they leave, she can take half. That's why they have the term it's cheaper to keep her. And it's
Here,
like and you could say it's like the world's smallest violin or what, like whatever you're gonna say boo-hoo, but like I think that's a hard reality for men.
Listen, the first 5 years, I did nothing but play the violin. I did nothing but hear story after story of pain, of suffering, of difficulty. I have heard it. I have cried the tears publicly on my channel about the men
He has cried on his channel.
who are suffering in today's society. I have experienced, some of my friends experience the worst kinds of divorces, things that are so beyond demonic, it will blow your mind if I talked about it on this platform. I have seen the worst of the worst, but guess what? We've spent years talking about the worst of the worst. We've been spending years talking about the problems in today's world. Now it is time for solutions. Do I have compassion? But what does compassion do for the next man who's up? Now it's time for solutions. Yes, life hit you. Yes, you're knocked down. Yes, you have a crappy hand. Now what? And so my biggest thing is that, like I said, when you're being an individual who's Black in America, you learn.
Wolf in Sheep's Clothing says, QDG, would you take it personally if your girl's family cracked racist jokes towards you all the time? It happened in my last relationship. That doesn't really happen to me. I don't know what jokes specifically you're referring to. But yeah, that doesn't really happen to me. So I can't really relate.
It's hard. People have crappy hands. People go through difficulty. Man, so many bad things happen in today's world. It's hard. It's tough. It's painful. People right now literally watching this video are crying tears of suffering because they're living in absolute hell. I understand the pain of men more than anybody because I've been doing this for so long. But what I'm saying is we cannot simply stay there. It's okay not to be okay. What are our solutions? What is the way forward? And simply just playing the violin, simply regurgitating and re-uttering the same points about men suffering over and over again does not change the next man from suffering, does not change the situation. I want solutions. That's what I live and bleed. I want solutions. I want men to be better. That is what I'm about. I'm not simply disregarding. That was all entertainment. We're having fun here. You wanted views. You don't want to make it entertainment for people to watch.
Like I said, it definitely seems like he was trying to shit on men. And I guess that's what he calls entertaining, being patronizing and condescending to men because they have real grievances about dating. If that's what he calls it, then it is what it is. But from my understanding, I don't think that was appropriate, honestly. Now I get it. Some guys can be crybabies about it. You got to give them tough love for sure. But like I said, is a solution buying your course? Is a solution spending $300 on 30 minutes of your time? I don't think so, bruh. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing said, monkey jokes. I'm dark. They were white. They wasn't actually racist, but they always had jokes. What exactly did they say, though? I need, like, monkey jokes. What the fuck does that mean? Like, were they saying ooh at you, or what was going on? Homosexual said, this guy's a whole clown. Ship Jumper said, he's not shitting on men, but he needs to have that same energy when women are complaining. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I do think that he was kind of shitting on men and being condescending, for sure. So
now you're mad I'm entertaining. All of a sudden,
I'm not mad.
we're having fun.
Okay.
Look, see, when he says something and then she says, oh, I'm not mad. Oh, we're just having fun. That's his main comeback, I guess.
Come on, he's just talking. Yeah. I understand, but I cannot leave men there because the victim mindset. Because think about it. If you've been victimized, what are you?
A victim.
So 100% men have been victimized, but I cannot let a man embody the victim mindset. You got a bad hand in life. I will refuse. I will never let a single man, no matter how difficult he has it, embody the victim mindset.
Have you ever tried to do you want to run for an office or anything? Would you ever try to change the laws at all? Or is that not something?
So he's telling all these red vitamin content creators to go and change the laws. And guess what his answer is about running for office and changing the laws?
Deal. If I was to run for office, I guarantee you, if I really put all my effort into it, we will see a lot of laws change. Because that's what makes me so mad. Because I have my path. I have my certain path. I know for a fact God did not make me to be a politician.
Okay. So why can't all these other red vitamin content creators have that same path? God didn't make them to be a politician. Right?
That's not what I'm made to be. My path is to build up the men. My path is to give them everything that needs to be great. My path is one-on-ones, connecting. That's my path.
The standard type stuff.
That's what I'm. And so
you.
to me, the reason why I'm so mad at some of the red pill, I'm like, yo, why won't you guys get into politics? Your path is not my path.
You feel like they're just making money off of views and not
just
actually doing anything.
get in the game.
Bruh. So he just said he's not a politician. So it's safe to say that most of these guys in the content space aren't politicians either. The fact of the matter is, if you make this type of content, there's no way that you could ever become a politician because your digital footprint's going to haunt you. There's no way that I could run for any office because they're going to pull up one video and say, oh, he hates this, or he made a racist joke, or he made a LGBT joke. There's literally no way you could get into politics as a content creator unless you just making like vanilla ass content. You don't curse, you don't do anything, you don't get bitches, you just, I don't know, making cologne videos or some shit. Wolf says her cousins would go ooh, ah, and stuff. They were my age, 18. They were cool and we fuck with each other, just always joning. Nah, that ain't it, bro. I would have told him, yo, like, saying we can make fun, we could have, we could joke around, but that shit is too far. And if they don't respect that, then keep it moving. Just don't go to any more family events. But nah, that shit disrespectful. Hobosexual said too emotional. Ship Jumper said he's right about men needing to get out of their rut, but this guy makes more excuses for women about that do way more complaining about nothing. Exactly. Lat de Jour said, what advice does Hafiz give that red vitamin guys don't give? Exactly.
If there was a guy who's like, I spend, because there's a lot of guys in the MRA community, right, who are trying to make a change. I love those guys because they're every day, they're in Capitol Hill. They're fighting for the divorce laws. They're fighting for the
I thought you said those guys were crybabies.
The custody laws. They're fighting. I love those freaking guys. All power to those guys. And those guys need to be uplifted and share their story. And people need to be sending them money because they're trying to make a change. Shout out all to the amazing lawyers who are trying to make it equitable for men in divorce situation. Let's shout them out. I love those guys. Those are my guys. And so, but to me, I can't be everything. I can't be the politician and the king.
Exactly. So why don't you give these same content creators the benefit of the doubt? No red vitamin content creator could ever become a politician. It's just not going to work, bro.
Maker and this and that and there. I can't be all these things. I need some help. But when I see all the other guys who are way smarter than
look at what Herschel Walker's going through now. Like, I mean, they came down on his head top and he allegedly, it's not even proof that he had an abortion or he paid for a bitch to get an abortion. So, and I'm not for abortion, especially as a form of birth control for sure, unless like it's some rare cases, which like the 0.001% cases. But look at how hard they're coming down on him. And this is something that the left supports. So the left supports abortion and doesn't think it's a moral issue at all. And they're coming down hard on him. So imagine if they were to find some footage of you saying something that they don't agree with. You're going to get crucified. And you might even get deplatformed because they have control of Silicon Valley. Wolf says, Zoe, I want to, but at the time I seen a future with the girl, so I tried to keep peace with everyone. Okay. Lat de Jour said, maybe wearing a pocket square and a tight-fitting suit will get me on Hafiz level. Exactly. Just pay you're going to have $1,000, $500, $500 for the suit, and then $300 for the 30-minute consultation. Then you'll be a 1% man, like Hafiz says. Mr. Jake the Great says, when I did football in high school, I went to an 85% glider school. 88% of our football program was glider, and they would drop hard R regularly. Even our son QB and son glider halfback would join in. It was weird. Yeah, that's weird. I went to a predominantly white high school in 8th grade, 9th grade, and 10th grade. And I'm not going to say that they never like tried me on that type of shit. But when they did, it was pretty much nullified immediately. Like they knew not to fuck with me on that shit. Like for real. So I don't know. I don't know what type of situation y'all were in. Me personally, I wasn't going to tolerate that shit. I had brothers at the school we was getting busy. So if anybody would have disrespected me like heavily in that way, I mean, honestly, like there was like a white dude who like we would make fun of each other, and shit like that, but it wasn't even nothing that was like disrespectful. There's like mutual joning, which is fine, and then there's like a line that's crossed. Nobody really crossed that line with us, at least my family. And if they did, they definitely got their ass beat. Alphazo said, if you see a future with girl, you have to have those private conversations with them. Yeah, and just don't go into any more family events. He also says, when I was in college, me and a Mayo glider friends would crack jokes at each other. I would flame them just as hard as they come at me. Yeah, for sure. Like I'm not really, you know, sensitive about much. It's just a matter of like the disrespect. Like if it's disrespectful, like the monkey shit I think is too far, because I think that's a little too far. I mean, it just depends on what context, honestly, because any joke can be funny if it's framed in the right way. Wolf says, does your girl have brothers, and do they disrespect you, or did they try you at first? No, they never tried me. And yes, she has 3 brothers and they never disrespected me nor tried me. So
than me, who have way more wisdom than I do, have way more tools than I do. When I see all those guys simply spend all their day long on the internet regurgitating the same boring top talking points, talking about the same problems that we already know exist, I'm like, how are you this old and still doing this? You're old now. Get into, make real change. But to me, I just wonder why. If like,
Mr. Jake the Great says, it was mutual joning, but it became a thing, just saying hard R's in a joking way. I never got into it. It's upstate NY. And they say the South is racist. They never run that play down here in the South. From my own experience, like you might have like some fucking frat boys drive by you and say the N-word. Maybe that happened to me like one time, and it was like a drive-by. They yelled out the hard R and they kept driving. It wasn't nothing crazy. But from my experience, I've never had that happen. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, yeah.
No, I understand that. I understand. So it's like it's frustrating to you because
100%.
now I understand though.
Now you feel the passion. I mean this. You feel this. You feel this. I mean this. You can look me in my eyes. You know it's real.
Because you just feel like you've been listening to this content for like 10 plus years. And so it's like for you, it's been like 10, 15 years of the same stuff. But there's never any actual change. That's what you feel.
And to me,
I think there's change. I think there's been sweeping change within the past couple of years. And the change is women are finding themselves single in their later years. And I think that's what needs to happen. And the women who get on board find men, and the women who don't, they're single and they're crying on TikTok. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Because I like when people learn their lessons. Like, fuck all this. I mean, I hear them with the solution shit. The solution is let people learn from their mistakes. Okay, even if it gets to the point where they can't correct their mistakes, I'm all for that. Alphazo says they could also be testing you to see if you have a backbone and see if she is in good hands. Yeah, that is true. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing says some of these glider girls' fathers don't want them dating black guys on the low. I wouldn't disagree. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing, but that's just like a black father probably wouldn't want his daughter dating a white boy. It goes the same way, especially a black mother. So I think it goes the same way. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing says frat boys at UGA did that. Yeah. One time I was training at the IM fields. It was some frat boys. They yelled the N-word out the car. I mean, it wasn't nothing major. It wasn't like they was like hop out gang and they was like trying to lynch a nigga or some shit, which would have been a sore L because I had like three big niggas with me, and then I had my little cousin with me. But yeah, they would have took an L, and I stay strapped. But yeah, I mean that shit happened. But I was just like, I don't give a fuck. And then one time I was in Commerce and at the Tanger outlet, and they, you know, it was like some country white boys who yelled out the N-word, but they never like do no shit in your face. Like they never really press up on you and you know, try and apply pressure like that from my experience. Lat de Jour said, I grew up in Henry County. Yep, I'm familiar with Henry County. And no one ever tried me like that. Yeah. I mean, especially in those like more southern country areas, it's even more rare because I think there's such a negative stigma that like white people have adjusted. And honestly, I think that nowadays, when you really look at it, I think black people have become just as racist, if not more racist than white people. And you could say, oh, well, you have to have a power structure to be racist. No, you just have to have a prejudice, dislike, or hatred toward someone solely based off of the color of their skin. And I think that a lot of black people practice racism in this day and age, what they would probably call reverse racism. And that's the reality of the situation. Alphazo says frat guys at almost any school will do that. Blackface parties as well. Yep. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing says the frat boys around here know better to do that. I'm on a lacrosse team with white boys in frats and they don't do that. Yeah, I mean, they may not do it in your face, but they might do it to like some unassuming black guy walking down the sidewalk. You never know. He said Tino had the strap at school. Yeah, I mean, there was a law that said that you can bring your strap into class. So yeah, I was bringing my strap to the class, 2 classes. But I was at the IM field, so I was working out. It wasn't necessarily class, but I had my strap everywhere. Distant Light says you got to be strapped at college. Shit, hell yeah. Them locals don't be playing. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing said, did you ever see those frat boys ever again after that? Nah, I didn't even see their faces, honestly. I just seen their truck. Alphazo says most of them don't mean no harm. They think it's a game and sometimes are unaware of sensitivity of saying derogatory terms. I remember we had to have a sit down to get them to understand. Yeah, for sure. Alphazo says they definitely have adjusted. Alphazo says reverse racism. Yep. Wolf says, Zoe, since you studied psych, can white boys or can white people be racist is what he meant to say.
I feel as though same with you and your wife's school. You should be able to graduate. You should get to a point where you don't got to watch pearly things anymore because you have your husband. You are a wife. And my problem is these guys have repeat customers every single day for multiple.
What about your guys? I mean, come on, bro. This is so disingenuous.
Years. How is the same guy watching your content? How is the same guy going through that same BS? How is the same guy like? Come on. There should come a time in the day where people should graduate from you. They shouldn't need it anymore.
Sometimes I don't think they want to graduate. There's some people.
100. Know why? I
don't know.
They're the victim.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Think about it.
No, because I went to funny thing I did. I went to a pickup artist conference.
Okay.
I just was curious. I want to know what the guys were talking about. So
she went to the CME with Donovan Sharp. That's what she's talking about.
It's kind of like if you as a guy went to like a how to finesse like rich guys. It'd be kind of interesting, you know. So I went.
Bruh, the CME was not about how to finesse women. It was literally speaking about male issues. It wasn't about how to finesse women. There might be some things on getting women and looking at their body language, but it's not finessing women. It's literally about, I mean, some of it is about getting laid, but most of it is about getting relationships and retaining them.
For like a YouTube video, and some of them did not want to be helped.
Of course not.
Yeah, I was like, because everything was just everyone else and not. Some of them genuinely were there to learn, and like I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of interesting.
Those are the ones I love.
Yeah.
So when I'm always going at the red pill stuff, I'm not trying to pick a fight with any individual creator, which is why when they do reaction videos with me, I never talk about them. I never respond because they don't exist to me.
He does slick shots. He may not respond directly, but he takes slick shots. He'll drop something on his channel and take slick shots at people. That's what he does. He doesn't respond directly. He responds passive aggressively.
What I'm obsessed with is that guy you just
like when he said, "Oh, I don't watch Coach Greg Adams' channel." He's fucking lying. That's bullshit.
Right. That small percentage of guy who's at that conference, who's watching that content, who really wants help. That guy, I care about that guy. I just want to reach that one guy, and I want to give him all the tools to be successful. And so, to me, you're 100% right.
He wants to reach that guy to take that customer base away from the pickup artist because he's like, oh shit, if they can afford a if they can afford, you know, going on this trip to this pickup artist convention, then they definitely can afford a $500 suit. They definitely can afford a $300 consult for 30 minutes. They definitely can afford a $50 course. So that's his play.
There's some people who do not want to be helped. They want to complain. They want to whine. They want to see you destroy women. They want to see everybody else destroy women, but they don't want to change. They don't want to get in shape. They don't want to improve their lives. They don't want to level. They don't want this stuff. They want to sit down on their couches. They want to turn on the YouTube and they want to simply complain, vent, and type in nasty things in the comments about women. And that is the stuff that disgusts me. And that's why I'm so passionate about what we're doing, because we're creating real change in the world, in the lives of men.
Okay. Yeah, I think I understand, but you're very passionate about this
Listen,
stuff.
and I love how because you're feeling it.
Yeah.
Remember this? You said you're very tired. I said, don't worry, we'll get there. We'll get there. I like
You were very tired when we.
I'm still tired now, but
Yeah,
this is my life.
Yeah.
Like that's why people don't realize
But-
it's my life.
No, I
This is
understand.
what I live.
So from your point, from your point of view, you've just been listening
That nigga talking like he in the streets. This is my life. I'm about that life. This how I live. I'm like, what, nigga?
to this stuff
You're talking. You're on YouTube, bro.
for too long without solutions, and that's like where you're at. Is like you just for years have been hearing the same talking points.
And then
Because to me, this stuff is like more new, so I don't really.
my question is, what year did you start watching this content?
Year and a half ago, maybe.
$10,000 to join Hafiz Masterminds, guys. That's the sweeping change that he's talking about. Shout out to AlphaZo. He says anybody is capable of being racist, not just one group of people. We did a few lectures, debates, and papers on that particular topic. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing says Republican Senator John Cornyn tweeted that he wants to put segregation back into place. Lat de Jour said, I'm going to need more specifics about the revolutionary change you reekon, Hafiz. Red Sings the Blues. Shout out to Red Sings the Blues. He says, what's up? What's good, bro? AlphaZo says racism is taught and institutionalized, not inherited or born with. Facts.
2020. You found me in 2020. So you obviously
No, but I listened to more of yours wasn't like red pill. Like I listened to your interviews before then. I've been listening to you guys, I think, for longer, but
okay.
like red pill, I would define as like more AMS, like it's kind of red pill PUA with the stuff very interesting.
Yeah.
But that I would say like 2 years, 1 year.
My question is, has it changed in the past 2 years?
The content.
Yeah.
I would say the person that was
AMS has definitely changed. He definitely switched up, which I'm not mad at, but he definitely switched up.
like that change. Like I think Kevin Samuels did the best job of like moving forward the conversation. I think it's really a shame that he died because
100%.
I actually thought.
Yeah, that was a hard. That was tough. The Kevin Samuels shit, man.
That he did the best job of like moving the conversation.
No, Wolf in Sheep's Clothing said it's over for a lot of Indian men. Them dudes are just ugly. I mean, I've seen some attractive Indian men, you know, some of them, I don't know. Some of them just like don't believe in the gym either. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, you know, maybe they need to get in the gym. Because if you're like hairy, which usually they are hairy, it can work to your benefit if you're swole. But if you're skinny and hairy, I'm going to tell you right now, women don't like that.
100%. I love what
Andrew
you just said.
Tate.
Like there's a difference between fucking Wolverine and I don't know. I don't even know no skinny hairy nigga, honestly. But yeah,
Too. I think his
He's
stuff.
changing a lot.
Yeah, like
growing.
he's very different. Like the first video, I actually didn't like Andrew Tate when I started
Of
because
course.
he had like a cheating party, and I was like, that's a bit rude.
Yeah.
But then like it's like interesting to see his content like evolve.
And think about what you just said.
Yeah.
You mentioned two people who I have nothing but the utmost respect
Yeah.
for. People who started off, their stuff was wild.
Yeah.
Kevin, I've been watching Kevin for a long time, boy.
Mhm.
Kevin used to be wild. Andrew Tate used to be wild.
Yeah.
But they've grown. They've
Yeah.
improved. They made their message better. They refined it. They've lost a lot of dollars.
Mhm.
If Kevin Samuels wanted to maximize money, he would simply keep on doing the same thing because it was Jerry Springer kept on working.
Yeah.
But he was like, no, I will lose the dollars. I will lose the fame. I will lose all the things to be better. Same with Andrew Tate.
Mhm.
So I nothing but respect for those. You never hear me say anything bad publicly about those two individuals.
Mhm.
But what pisses me off is those other guys
Yeah,
who are
and-
doing the same things year after year after year. I'm like, you're too old for this.
Mhm.
I get it when there's a new 22-year-old kid who pops up on YouTube and starts uttering the same fools. It's like, yeah, he's 22. He doesn't know any better. But
Mhm.
you're in your 50s.
Mhm.
You're this old.
Mhm.
Come on, man. That's ridiculous. And to me, that's where it's like you're either naive and you don't know what's going on, which I don't believe these people are that dumb,
Mhm.
or you're intentionally deceiving these men
Mhm.
and leading them down an unhealthy path, especially when you're not even living that life.
Mhm.
And that's what pisses me off.
Mhm. And so you're saying like a lot of those guys behind the scenes, they have relationships, wives, girlfriends, but they're just still spewing the same stuff.
not,
And that's where your frustration with the red pill like comes in.
I know and like I said, I'm not calling anybody.
Yeah,
out.
I know you
I
can't,
know
yeah.
a lot of people personally. I
Yeah.
know people. I can almost anybody right now. If I want to talk to them on my phone, I can.
Mhm.
Everyone tells me these.
Let's see. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing said, "True. Have you smashed an what?" That shit was, hey yo. I've smashed an Indian woman, not no damn man. I don't know what the hell you talking about, but you know, I fuck with Indian women, but you know, there's some racism there too as well. Lat de Jour said, Minister Jap, I would say you probably get more racism out of Indians than whites because like Indians actually deal with blacks a lot more. When it comes to like hood shit. Lat de Jour said, Minister Jap, the only one that stayed hardcore for sure. Red Sings the Blues said Hafiz interviewed AMS. who on tape said he makes a woman lick his groceries, but Hafiz is co-signed by Oprah as well. Wow. Yeah, so that's why he's switching up. Yeah, so I mean the eating ass shit, the shit the AMS be talking about, I ain't with that. Lick O Fart says black men need to get their stuff together before they speak about this stuff. What do you mean? Alphazo says you can't judge one group of indigenous group, even though there are voted as undesirable by all groups of women as a whole. But if they self-improve and improve their finances, they can clean up. Lickle Fart says Indian men are more attractive than black men, not according to dating apps. Alphazo says Indians tend to be purple pilled, so they just want to peacock and marry one woman. They are very family oriented and care about social class. Yeah. Alvazo says one of my neighbors was an Indian prince and he did well for himself, but he was focused on marrying one woman. Facts. Licko Fart says Minister Jap is a joke. I don't agree. That's my nigga. Lat de Jour says facts. The Indians at my corner store used to watch a nigga like a hawk. I'm dead.
Stories. I know this. That's why I'm so passionate about it. I know these things. And so my biggest thing is that, yo, stop. Like, if you don't lie to people, man. Stop lying. That's what bothers me the most. Like, bro, like, don't lie to them because kids are actually following this. And my dad told me this. And I want you, if you remember anything that I told you, remember this. What you do in moderation, those who follow you will do in excess. Remember that. Whatever you do in moderation, those who follow you will do in excess. So be careful what you do in front of people. So you have to be aware of it. If I feel like, oh, I'm leading people down this wrong path, you have to adjust because they will take what you're doing and they'll multiply it. So to me, that's one of the biggest things that I've learned. If you're not improving, if you're not adjusting, you are simply leading people down an unhealthy path because if there is no growth, that means that the death is occurring.
Well, tell the people where they can find you.
Listen, man.
But you're not going to put out.
All right. Hafiz, he got a $50 course, $300 for 30 minutes, and $500 suits and a $10,000 mastermind, guys. So y'all can go check him out. You know, I'm not mad at the nigga making money. Just don't say you don't care about money. That was a great breakdown. Let's see. I think Lickle Fart has one more. They say Indian men like to watch black men jerk it. That's disgusting. Alpha Zo says those Indian girls are sneaky, but I respect the fact that they will do their best to hide their promiscuity. And once they hit like 5 bodies, they look for a husband. He says rapid fire. Yeah, I'm down for a rapid fire. If you guys want to come up and ask questions, I'm dropping the link. Or if you want to rapid fire questions in the chat, I can probably do like 15, 20 more minutes. So just put your questions in the chat. And we can get to work. We can get to work for sure. Just let me know any questions that you guys have. We're growing this channel. We're getting right. We working. We are working. Okay. So let's see. I'm just pulling up another tab right quick. Oh man, I just saw something funny. Anybody got questions? Let's see. All right. He said link doesn't work. There's no way the link doesn't work. I just dropped it. Chancellor says common Hafiz L. Guys, put your questions in. Join the link. Put your questions in. Join the link. We got a few minutes before we got to get up out of here because I got a meeting to go to. Yerp. I get money way before the deal, yeah. No questions? Okay, we got Evan Freezy or Feezy. Evan Feezy in the building. What's good? E. I don't know what that was. A lot of trolls in the building. A lot of trolls. Shout out to Alpha Zoe. He says, should Hafiz quit or quiet down and focus on purple pill men and betas? So I think that he has officially declared war on the red vitamin. Somebody said he was co-signed by Oprah and whatnot. That could be a possibility. So that automatically means he's the ops, right? Because let's keep it buck. Oprah ain't fucking with y'all niggas. Okay. So I mean he I'm not gonna say he got to quiet down, but okay, so we got Kareem who just joined the stream, probably the same motherfucker, honestly. Device not connected. Oh, that's Tesla. Tesla is Kareem. But your device ain't connected, bruh. So we're gonna kick you from the studio. You already came up. Chancellor said Evan busted a nut. I'm dead. Well, yeah, let me see. We're gonna probably go ahead and get up out of here. We're gonna probably go ahead and get up out of here. Go on for the nigga, get it over with. All right. So yeah, that's cool. Guys, we had a great stream. Very interesting. We are getting to relearn Hafiz. And you know, it is what it is. This is the game. Sheesh, bro. He has definitely strayed far away. I know other content creators are breaking this thing down. Guys, make sure you watch my last video called Fat Black Woman Christina Blake Cries on TikTok because men ain't approaching her and she can't fathom why. This is some of the reason why we do what we do. Because a lot of these chicks just don't understand that you have to improve yourself. We got women out here who feel entitled to certain men that they don't deserve. And that's the reality of the situation. And I think Hafiz is kind of overlooking that and saying, oh, well, you guys are saying nasty things about women in the comment section. Well, I would challenge you to see what these women are saying about men in the comment section, not only in the comment section, but on TikTok in their own female spaces. So yes, you can say both sides are toxic, but I think overall the content creators in the red vitamin space are providing a lot more value than these female content creators, because the female content creators basically just lie to their audience base and tell them that they deserve whatever they're asking for, when we all know that that is not the case, especially if you're overweight. Shout out to Alpha Zoe. He says, dang, y'all boys got burner accounts. He said, keep up the good work, soldier. Yep. So we're going to go ahead and get up out of here, guys. I appreciate y'all. You already know what it is, man. It's your boy, Reclaiming Throne. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Send your relationship questions to your email down below with a screenshot of your cash app so I know you're paying your tithes, man. Y'all need to be on your motherfucking team with the BS. And you already know. Reclaim your throne.
Ain't nobody hot as me. Ain't nobody hot as me. I'm the type to fit that cylinder in her isosceles. Shit, she probably fucking, but it's not for free. What's the cash app picture? Have a nigga pay a fee. Yeah, I can see just how you want me. Pouring out of me is this misogyny is riding me. Pick apart the beat, like how the fuck you let them niggas feed your ass that riding me? Got these bitches salivating over. Claim.